Here's the thing. We're not going to be intimidated.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, a Democrat, tells CNN State of the Union sending in troops would be ridiculous. One of the protests yesterday was inside a St. Paul church.
A group of protesters stormed and disrupted a Sunday church service because of one of the pastor's possible connections to ICE. The U.S. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights announced there would be a federal probe over this, writing this on X. The Civil Rights Division is investigating the potential violations of the Federal FACE Act by these people, desecrating a house of worship and interfering with Christian worshipers.
Fox's Tug and Los. There was also a demonstration in Greenland, the territory the president wants the U.S. to take over as he threatens tariffs on European allies that don't support him.
President Trump says 8 countries who oppose his attempts to take over Greenland, a self-governing part of Denmark, will face import taxes from next month. Greenlanders came out to protest at the weekend.
I think it's a little bit silly and a bit sad.
A threat again and again.
I hope that the American people as well get their eyes opened. This is not a good way to treat anybody.
President Trump says the U.S. needs Greenland for national security.
As Fox's Jonathan Savage, a railroad disaster in Spain. Crews are going through the wreckage looking for more victims after at least 39 people were killed when a high-speed train went off the tracks last night and crashed into another passenger train going the other direction. Some people thrown out of windows, bodies found hundreds of feet away. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Following the attacks on 9/11/01, FDNY firefighter Daniel Foley assisted in the rescue and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. Daniel spent months and months searching for victims. Now, Daniel's death was the direct result of 9/11 related cancer. He leaves behind his wife, Carrie, and their children. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family's home. Join us. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. This is Extra 106.3's Morning Extra. My name is Tug Cowart. Typically, you get Carlos Medina. Los is out today for the MLK holiday.
Praise him.
Yeah, absolutely. And his daughters are in a volleyball competition.
I saw it from a mile away.
Yeah, I know, right? It was coming like
Where's Los?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in volleyball?
Yeah, that's right.
Where are they playing? In the Himalayas?
No, at George World Congress Center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like Little Big South, I think the tournament's called. So he's down there focused on that, and I don't blame him, man. Because that stuff's so fleeting. I tell him, I was like, dude, you need to be at every one of them. Go to every one of them.
Yep. Is his daughter the libero?
I don't know. No, she's not. She's an outside
the alternate
hitter.
jersey?
Yeah, I think she's an outside hitter. I believe that's what she is.
Okay.
Los would have to.
It's the extent of my.
Yeah, I know. Just libero, just because it stands out.
It's the one with the other jersey, right? That plays defense?
Yeah.
I got it.
The defensive specialist.
Do we know if Los is on the sidelines for those games?
What do you mean is he on the sideline?
Like, is he coaching? Or is he just he goes as a fan?
No, he goes as a parent fan. He does do all the filming for the team.
Oh, God.
He's got like a 14...
Super dad?
Yeah, he's got like a 14-foot tall
D-bag.
tripod thing.
Yeah, Los is such a real badass.
Yeah.
You hear him talking tough about killing everybody on the show, and he's like, he's got his like VHS recorder on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. And streaming it to those like Huddle or whatever.
Is he rumbling it to the 4 people who want to watch?
I think it's probably a little more than 4.
When political discourse.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, but the families that watch. So there's probably, I would say, 15.
Okay.
25 maybe. I don't know.
The greatest hits collection.
Yeah. So the girls and are out there playing real well. And he's been quiet this weekend. So I don't know how they're doing. Usually we go back and forth, but he's got 2 playing
there.
Yeah. So one younger, one older, playing. They both were in tournaments there, so that's what he's up to. You're hearing from Ben Burdett.
That's a tough game.
Dude, volleyball?
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Let me let everybody know who you are. Ben Burdett, host of the Ben Burdett Show, former Alpharetta City Councilman. You can hear his show on Saturdays at 2 and then Sundays at noon here on Extra 106.3. Welcome in, Ben. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for getting up early, cold, crazy outside.
I've expected it to be worse. Like, I think it's been so cold that I'm like, As
long as the wind... It's the wind. That's what changes everything. That's the game changer. If it's windy, it's awful. If it's just cold, it's I hate it, but it's tolerable.
It's like the major league scene when they're like, it's too high. No, it's too hard.
That's right. You hit it too high. What do you mean too high? Who cares? It's gone. Yeah. Hit and bang. There we go. It's exactly right.
When the wind's going, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not too bad if it's just the weather. It's like, where is he going with this? Where's he going?
I'm just saying when the wind is,
it can beat you to death.
It's problematic. I don't care for none of that. I wish. And my wife says to me yesterday, she says, if it's gonna be this cold, I would just wish it was snow.
Oh,
and I'm like, no, that would make it that much worse. What are you talking about? That'd be terrible.
Yeah, we don't deal with. Would we get like a good snow every 2 or 3 years? Is that fair? Like shut everything down where Tug's going to have to be remote?
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever done that. I think I've always gotten in. I got that 4-wheel drive pickup truck. Come on.
Los is with his video camera at the World Congress Center. If he wasn't, he'd be like, I can't make it. I'm remote today.
Yeah, right. And I wouldn't blame him. I don't know. I prefer to be here. Like, I can do it from home and did during COVID and have once or twice since then.
Yeah, if you go on the road and have baseball season or something.
For sure, yeah. Down in Charleston, sometimes I go over, about once a year I go over and help them host their radiothon, raising money for the MUSC Sean Jenkins Children's Hospital there in Charleston. And so I'll do this show from down there and then help them raise money. So I can do it. I just prefer to be here.
You like to look at everybody.
I do. I just like to have. It's just, it just seems more formal.
There's better. I always say when people ask if they can like phone in, this is like behind the scenes in radio.
Yeah.
People, can I phone in and just do it remote? I was like, it'll be awful.
Yeah, you can. It's just not as good.
It is nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Our guest in the next hour was saying, is it a lot worse when you phone in?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's not even close.
Yeah, there's not even a comparison. And that guest being Greg Dolezal, he is running for lieutenant governor here in Georgia from Cumming and is a state senator currently. I look forward to, matter of fact, I scheduled a topic of discussion while he was here because I knew he'd have a strong opinion about it, and that's the rioters going after that church with Don Lemon at the helm.
French Don Lemon.
Dude, what a goon. That dude is such a goon.
And he had such a good career.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, he was a good media, successful corporate personality, and he has totally screwed that up.
You're more convinced of that than I am.
I mean, I'm saying that somebody paid him $5 million a year to sit on TV and put makeup on his face and like host a show for an hour.
And then they realized he sucked and got rid of him.
Well, Chris Cuomo was good, and they got rid of him.
Yeah, it's questionable too. And then, but he has landed back on his feet. He's found the middle somehow or other. All of a sudden,
that's you playing radio a little bit.
I'm not.
I've always liked Chris.
Really?
I have always liked Chris. I think when he's on News Nation with O'Reilly, it's some of the best conversation you get because they've both been outcast by giant media stations.
Yeah.
But they're both still talented. O'Reilly's getting old.
Yeah, he is. There's a difference in talented. Yes, I think Don Lemon.
Well, I didn't say he was a gifted conservative.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know that they did their job super well, even though they were talented.
Yeah.
Chris Cuomo was covering for his brother while his brother was putting people in freaking places to die during COVID.
You can't get them all right. That was a swing and a miss.
Yeah, buddy, that's a big swing and a miss. Though.
But
giant swing and miss.
But I always appreciated, like, save the fact that a bunch of people got locked in nursing homes. I always kind of secret. I wonder if my brother would do that for me. I would like to think so, but I don't know.
I think what you have to do in that situation is say, this is too close. Y'all realize I can't talk about this because my brother is...
I'm going to pick him.
I'm going to pick him. His blood. I'm going to. But have the courage to say that. You're expected to be unbiased as a journalist, which none of them are.
No, that's the thing. I
just don't pretend. That's all.
That's the thing I don't mind. I didn't see last night's, but like I like 60 Minutes.
Yeah. And completely fabricated junk. They just cut and edit and garbage.
They've been in the news a lot recently
for that.
for that.
As a matter of fact.
But I don't like. I like when they go to Africa and like look at whatever it is.
How do you believe them? How do you believe the things?
That's not what I'm. I don't watch it for that. Like every once in a while,
do. Yeah.
I have the ability to know that everybody's full of ish.
Okay. So if you go from that point of view, then right, that's the way you have to do it. But most people don't.
But that's just it's a legacy. It's part of my Sunday night routine. Like I just
find a new routine. Good Lord.
The NFL games end on CBS, and then I've got 60 Minutes, and most of the time I don't know what they're going to talk about. I do like Trump. I like the clip of like, I like you, Leslie, because you're going to be fair to me.
That's when Trump's at his best.
Yeah,
dude, it is. And he's not always at his best, but that's when he's at his best.
You're going to be fair to me, Leslie Stahl.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah. This is the same lady that said when he was like, they're spying on my campaign, and now we know that's true. She was like, well, you can't say that. This is 60 Minutes. We get out. It's so
the
ridiculous.
Righteousness.
Dude, yuck. I can't stand it. I would rather get backed over by an 18-wheeler than watch 60 Minutes.
If you had to pick I don't mean like cable news outlet. If you had to pick a news outlet, and you got to choose, who you taking?
Independent journalist.
No.
Catherine Herridge. I like her. She worked CBS. She worked Fox News.
Yeah,
I like her a lot. I can't choose her.
If it's live breaking coverage, like coverage of like the George Floyd protests and stuff, I always go CNN because I feel like they have the best live coverage of that kind of stuff.
Even though you're not going to get the truth when you watch that.
Yeah, but I'm not watching for the information. I'm watching to see what's actually going on.
Okay, all right.
I meant like, are you David Muir's gay ass? Who are you? Who you do? Like who you doing? See, I don't know. I think I'm still probably a CBS guy if I had to choose like a basic ABC, NBC.
If it has to be one of those. Oh my God. I guess I would go CBS now because Bari Weiss is in there and at least she's shaking it up a little bit.
They do not like her.
I know, and that's what makes me like it.
And she just probably wouldn't like us.
I know, that's the thing. But I'm okay with that. Ben, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with tell me the truth. Even if I don't like the truth, tell me the truth. And I feel like at least there's an effort there with her. And she's not a conservative. So that kind of tells you where I am. Dude, I like the fact that
she loves her some Israel, though.
She does, yeah. She does.
She does love her some Israel.
But I love Israel, too.
But there's a lot of... I think the free press was a great idea.
Yes, right.
And it was successful. So successful that CBS bought it.
Yeah. And we'll see if it remains successful. But yeah, I guess right now would be CBS, and it pains me to say because I don't like it at all. But I mean, if you're making me,
that's what I think that's a game that should be played more. Is like you have to choose one.
That's right. You have to choose Dr. Phil or Oprah. Which is it going to be?
I forgot the guy's name. Which is bad, but he's not listening. And they wrote a book about the 2020 election. Michael Isikoff and somebody else, but neither here. You'll have to dig through my show archives. And he used to be the executive producer to CBS News, and I was like, "What was that like?" That's like I was like, "I can't believe you just walked into my studio," kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool.
And I was like, they broke the Monica Lewinsky blue dress story to Newsweek.
Okay,
and so what an interesting time to have Like, what a story to break.
So, yeah, right. So, back up just a little bit. He's on the show there to talk about the book. What was the book about? 2020? The election?
All the things that went into finding, when Trump said, find me the votes, it was all the precursor. It was all the November 2020 in Georgia.
Yeah, now we know that there's all kinds of craziness that's going on. We still have people.
And there's all kinds of things we don't know.
Yeah,
and you'll never know.
And you'll never know. You'll never know, which is the problem. That's why everybody believes, and me included, that the 2020 election was rigged. Everybody believes that.
My wife, I am not Tug's politics.
No, but that's the beauty of because we get along really well, even though we see things very differently.
My wife voted at the mobile voting center, the bus that they take around.
Okay.
They move it around. They'll do it again for the midterm cycle. They put it all over Fulton County.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Weird.
At the St. James United Methodist Church, and she went to vote, and she had her "I voted" sticker, and we got a mailer from Kelly Loeffler in the runoff addressed to my wife that said, "We noticed you didn't vote in the general election.
Reckon why?"
And I was like, "Lindsay, can you?" I asked our county commissioner, and I sent an email to several people who wound up getting indicted over it when it was a thing. And I was like, "Hey, I just figured out that my wife actually
voted and was not counted."
Correct.
Yeah.
And they have the record of her signing in, but they could not find the corresponding barcode in the ballot.
We got a piece of audio for later in the show, specifically about.
And I'm not you, Tug. I'm not the massive conspiracy.
I don't think it's a
tinfoil
conspiracy.
hat wearing.
I don't think it's tinfoil hat. I think it's. I think it used to be.
And my wife signed an affidavit and everything. She's like, "Yeah, on my life, I went and did this."
Yeah, there's a piece of audio that I pulled, and I'll go back to it. Just quickly because it's later in the show, but it's basically David Cates, a reporter here in town, and he goes up and he says, "Wow, this address has 100 Georgia voters attached to it. It's an abandoned homeless shelter. It's been closed for 10 years. 100.
It's a leaning center.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Or a leering center.
It's a leering center. Whoever decides to make the leering center shirts is going to make $1 million.
I bet it's not. I bet it's Dave Portnoy.
Probably. I told Scott McFarland here in our office, our operations manager, I was like, "You need to do some drop shipping. Do the leering center, and Extra's going to make a mint."
They should change the thing over you, the Extra one, and just make it leering center.
That's right. Instead of the banner, the leering center. That's right.
If I ever find that door, America, I promise you, if somebody's nice enough to let me in on the scheme, by the time you find me, I'll be in Malta.
There you go. Living life. It's crazy because I think it's happening in all 50 states, and I think that sort of fraud is rampant. When Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, says, "I think it's about 10% of our budget that has been pilfered and fraudulently wasted."
I don't know about fraudulent, but wasted.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of fraud in there, too.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, dude. The zeros, there's an insane amount of them.
Yeah, that's right. So fraud and waste, 10% of our budget. Dude, that should piss everybody off, and it doesn't. People are okay with it. They're just fine with it. That's alarming to me.
I feel, what's the deficit in 2026? Is it $2 trillion?
I think so.
For the year?
Yeah,
dude, I guarantee you that we could fix that. Guaranteed.
Yes, of course we could. If we wanted to.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I'd be having every bureaucad flying on Frontier Airlines.
Absolutely right.
I would. There's no frills here.
No, and there shouldn't be. You should, as a politician, it shouldn't be a cush job. It should be a pain for you to go do it. It should be challenging for you to go do it.
I don't know about pain.
Flying Frontier would be a pain.
Oh, okay. I do it for fun, just to see where it goes.
Yeah, I tease.
See what happens. If it's really bad, but we're not going to make everybody fly Spirit.
No, I think.
But Frontier.
I think it should be challenging for you. It should be something that you want to do, just like volunteering, right? You volunteer for your kids, like softball or soccer or whatever. That is you got to get everything ready, right? If you're running in the concession stand.
I loved herding cats. It was so much fun.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Like there's work, there's effort. When you go do it, that it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be easy. This is not going to be an easy task. And you ain't getting paid for it.
No.
And I don't think politicians get paid very much at all. I don't. Cut their salaries and give them a third.
Burn it to the ground,
yes.
Tug.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. Not far off at this point. Not far off. Says the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Ben Burnett in with me this morning. Front Office Los got story time. And this story time, though, this is one that is destroying the power structure that the Democrats put together next on Extra.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, Jimmy Vela, and Guy Benson. The biggest lineup of conservative voices in the South are on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
If you've been listening to me on Extra, you know that I don't put my name on just anything. It's a Kimmer, of course, talking about my longtime friends at Peach State Windows, the family-owned Georgia company I've been trusting for something like 25 years now. Jeff owns a joint. He and his wife been doing this for years and years. This crew's been serving Georgia homeowners for decades, for like 5 of them. He knows Georgia's weather and building codes and what really works in our homes. How about right now? 8 premium Energy Star double hung replacement windows fully installed, $39.95. That's right, 8 windows for under $4,000 installed. You don't get deals like this from those big national companies or the personal service and craftsmanship that Jeff demands and provides. How about this? How about 0% financing for 12 months? Makes upgrading a little bit easier, doesn't it? PeachStateWindows.com. That's PeachStateWindows.com. Here's the number, 770-485-8011. Trusted, proven, priced right. Make the uglies go away. PeachStateWindows.com.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speakers Lobby. Many years ago, legendary Los Angeles Dodgers play-by-play man Vin Scully was calling a game against the Chicago Cubs. Andre Dawson has a bruised knee, declared Scully. He's listed as day-to-day. Then Scully paused for a moment. Then again, added Scully, aren't we all? You, me, Andre Dawson and his knee? Even late Republican California Representative Doug LaMalfa. LaMalfa passed away recently at age 65 during emergency surgery. 7 House members have died since April 2024. The previous 6 were Democrats. House Republicans have had a tenuous hold on their majority for a while now. LaMalfa's death, coupled with the resignation of former Republican Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, squeezes that majority further. It's about the math. The GOP margin shrivels to 218-213. The Republican majority thins again after a special election in Texas later this month. It's a runoff between 2 Democrats. The House Republican majority may be day-to-day. But then again, aren't we all? With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Securing America.
I, Kevin E. Lunday.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support.
Thursday, Admiral Kevin Lunday was sworn in as the 28th Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
With almost 40 years in the Coast Guard and with command experience that has ranged from the Indo-Pacific to Persian Gulf to cyberspace, Kevin Lunday was the man for the job.
The Admiral served as the acting Commandant for the last year, during which the Coast Guard registered a 200% increase in narcotics seizures and recruited its most new members since 1991.
The American people have depended on us to ensure the nation's economic prosperity and national security.
Lunday says he expects that to continue and made this pledge.
With a ready Coast Guard crew and the strong support of the American people, there is nothing we can't accomplish.
Kevin Ureski, Fox News.
The Brett Baer Minute.
Anti-government protests in Iran continue to escalate, spurred by nationwide unrest and high inflation. However, it looks like this could be about regime change eventually. President Trump has warned of military intervention if the death toll continues to rise, to which the Iranian government responded with threats of strikes on the U.S. and Israeli targets in the region. Fox News Audio, Washington-based correspondent Jared Halpern.
I think the big question, what is the president envisioning here with Iran? He has already imposed these
25% tariffs on trading partners. He has talked about having an array of options on the table, including military intervention. But that, of course, would come with an awful lot of risk. One, it would make U.S. bases in the region at risk. It could potentially put Israel and their targets at risk. And it raises questions about regime change to what? What is the next step?
I'm Brett Baer. We'll see you next time.
The Morning Extra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
If you don't like it, go win an election. Don't lose 7 swing states. I won. You're the loser. In Trump's America, this is what we're doing. We're enforcing the laws. If you don't like it, go to some other place you like a lot more.
They're not leaving.
It's your choice.
They're not leaving. They're not going to those third world countries that
Go have
have
at it.
socialism and communism.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, January 19th, and here are your headlines. Former DeKalb County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton is facing felony charges, including aggravated assault by strangulation and cruelty to children following a domestic incident in Stone Mountain. Police say children were present during the alleged assault, leading to a third-degree child cruelty charge, and Horton was booked into the DeKalb County Jail without bond. Horton resigned from the district last fall after a separate federal indictment in Illinois tied to an alleged kickback scheme from a previous superintendent job. Atlanta leaders and volunteers gathered for the beloved Community Cleanup Day hosted by District 11 Councilmember Wayne Martin in Southwest Atlanta. More than 125 volunteers cleaned up litter across 20 streets in 5 neighborhoods, working alongside students, faith groups, and residents. Organizers say the event honored Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy while strengthening community pride and neighborhood connection. And finally, 2 Kennesaw State basketball players are facing federal charges in an alleged game-fixing and illegal sports betting scheme. Prosecutors say the players accepted bribes to influence their performance during a March 2024 game as part of a wider national investigation. KSU has suspended those involved, and authorities say that the case highlights growing concerns tied to legalized sports betting. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 46 and a low of 24. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Los, I'm a bit torn on how I feel about Donald Trump recouping or trying to recoup his legal fees in Georgia. I understand why he's doing it. He wants to set some precedent. And look, it was a fraud. It was fake from the beginning. But I am also a Fulton County taxpayer. So, I mean, there's that little bit of me that's
as a Forsyth County taxpayer, I believe you should pay him what you owe him.
This is terrible. I want you need to be cheering for Team Tug here.
Not sure if you understand. We weren't looking to go after the president in our county.
Nor was I.
Well, perhaps you should vote differently, Tug Cowart.
I did. Believe me, there was not a chance I'm voting for Fonnie Willis for anything. But
just know
that the crazies around me did.
When you get into the office, good, strong Morning Extra listener, who's on your side and who's on the side of Fonnie Willis.
Yeah, I'm not on Fonnie Willis's side and will never be. I am a Fulton County taxpayer. I'm on my side.
When Tug runs for mornings, don't vote for him.
That's right. Yes.
I'm Tug Cowart, and I'm running for mornings.
Thank you for your vote and your attention to this detail. Attention to this matter, if you're Donald Trump. Pentagon sent a second carrier strike group, USS George Bush, to the Middle East. That would be the second carrier strike group, if you keep it count.
Read my lips.
Yeah, you say no new Texas. Yeah, but 2, because you had the Abe Lincoln coming out of the South China Sea over into the Persian Gulf, and now you'll have the second group crossing the Atlantic. About 10 days, they'll be to the Mediterranean, then through the Suez Canal, and I guess sit there and wait. That's what they're good at, being there, show of force, waiting to see what the Iranians do, and then what Donald Trump decides to do. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case you're keeping up with some of the issues that are happening across the world. It's a little tough right now to talk about some of those issues because of the craziness that is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But it's worth keeping up with, and I think it's worth you knowing that, putting it on your radar there quickly. So now we do things around here so you get educated, so you can take it to the water cooler, so you could talk about it intelligently. We call these moments story time with Los.
Settle in and get comfortable, folks. It's story time with Uncle Los.
Thank you to good, strong, clean Bryce. Thank you to Tug. Thank Make it a good Joe Virgin River.
Buddy's final day with us.
I know. This is going to be a tough one. But I'm glad he stuck it out for a week. He put his helmet on and said, I'm going to get back in the game and go deal with those people down the hall.
Go team.
And then we're going to send him back down over to Braves Radio Network. But I will just point out to you, something to consider, Joe V. After that Kyle Tucker contract in L.A.,
I may be out of a job next year.
I'm just saying you might have a little bit of extra time to spend with us. We'll see how that plays out.
This is true. That lockout is breathing down my neck.
What a mess. I hope that we don't get to that point, but that's going to be crazy. Maybe a discussion for another time when you think about what's happening, because in a capitalist system, like, go get your money.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's a collectively bargained league, and that's a problem. It's kind of working in college football. It's not working in Major League Baseball right now. But what is working right now? Well, we have talked about destroying the power structure that the Democrats have put together. And really that started with the initial run of Donald Trump and continued into 2020. Now what occurred? Well, what we've seen traditionally is that when it comes to the black community has typically voted Democrat 90% plus. And that's been the track record for the better part of 2 generations. Donald Trump really changed that. And recognizing that what occurs is that the Democrats need at least 90 to 91% of the black community to vote for them in order to win national elections. Well, in 2016, Donald Trump put a big jolt into that. And in 2020, he made even more progress. Now, again, we can always go back to what the 2020 election was. It was fraudulent. It was nutty. I think by any accounts, I think enough people now understand as far as just the numbers, it's impossible to have sequential voting numbers that come in 7 for Biden, 1 for Trump, 7 for Biden, 1 for Trump. That's impossible. It just doesn't happen. I mean, even in our own state, we won't hand over. Here's what the ballots look like.
Filthy.
We won't do it.
It's filthy, dude.
But what also happened in 2020, the same thing that ended up happening in 2024, record numbers of African Americans voted for Donald Trump. And so he won rather easily. And what was the argument from the left during in 2020? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Okay. What was it from Barack Obama?
How insulting is that?
You should have never won an election unless you cheated after you said that. What happened with Barack Obama? He went on a tour scolding black men for not supporting Kamala Harris because suddenly she was black. She was Indian before.
That's right.
It's amazing how that occurred. So, but I want to talk about the importance of what has gone on here and why you now see that the Democrats are no longer fighting for the black community. Not one bit. Not at all. Don't really even care. Because as far as they're concerned, we've lost too many. We don't have the 90% number anymore. What do? We backfill with illegals. But let's back it up. Let's back it up to, let's say, I don't know, somewhere right around the 1800s, where we didn't even have a Republican Party or a Democrat Party. That really wasn't something that occurred until the 1820s, when the modern Democrat Party formed. And that modern Democrat Party was it was made up of 2 different factions. There were the Southern Democrats and the Northern Democrats, but they were different in what they valued in terms of the deriving of their power. Southern Democrats derived their power from, and you'll remember this if you go back to your textbooks, the 3/5 compromise. Now, if you don't remember, or if it's just a little bit of an idea, when we were trying to ratify our governing documents of our country, the problem was that when you looked at the population difference between the North and the South of the states in the Union, even going into the Civil War, the North had 22 million people. By today's standards, that's not big.
Yeah, sure.
But at the time, 22 million. What did the South have? The South had 9 million. All right? The problem was almost half were slaves. The numbers going in to the Civil War was that you had 22 million free people in the North. You had 5.5 free people in the South, with another 3.5 million that were slaves. That was how, with that 3/5 compromise, they were able to ratify the Constitution, even up some of the numbers, make sure that there was still somewhat, even though not quite, somewhat equal representation. So when the Republican Party comes along, which was an abolitionist movement that selected Abraham Lincoln, who, by the way, never intended to go free the slaves when the Civil War erupted. It was about keeping the Union together. Abraham Lincoln, you can go back to the Lincoln-Douglas debates. It was always about how what was going to happen is slavery would go away on its own. That's what he firmly believed. He believed if this country was ever going to be the great nation it's supposed to be, slavery would go away on its own. By the time you're into a civil war, you're like, all right, this is what's happening. This is what we're going to do. And so you saw that the Southern Democrats fought. They went ahead and insurrected in order to make sure that they maintained their representation. And then when they knew they weren't going to be able to, well, let's maintain our way of life. That's what it really was about. Because again, 9 million people, almost half of them are slaves. Here was your issue. So what is now going on when you draw the parallels, Tug? Power is being derived from illegals. Power is being derived by having people that they're counting so that you maintain power, especially in states where people are getting in U-Hauls and leaving. It's happening in California. It's happening in Illinois. It's happening in Minnesota. So what are they doing? Backfilling with their next version of slaves. But what's different about this time around, because society has changed, these are the people that come in as illegals, set up operations in which they derive cash from the government.
Funnel money.
They then give it to their family, and then their family claims, well, I'm not making any money.
No.
So they get another bite at the apple with welfare. 83% of Somali immigrants in the state of Minnesota are on welfare.
And that number is around the same for Somalis that have been there for at least 10 years.
Yet, you've had $8 billion at least. It started at $1 billion. It's $8. It possibly gets to 18. That's been defrauded from the federal government by these organizations, by these people. So you're telling me that this relatively smaller group of people, let's say 100,000, has been able to pilfer, we'll just go with the middle number, $8 billion. And yet, there's still 83% that are on welfare. The numbers don't work.
No, of course they don't.
But why does the Democrat Party, why are they fighting so hard for it? Just as they did in the 1860 for their representation and their slaves? Because they have a new version of slaves. And these slaves pay them. That's story time.
And they cycle that money that has been fraudulently taken right back to the Democrat Party.
They get to maintain the numbers so that the Democrats can maintain their power. And with USAID gone, here's how they keep the money train going.
I'm telling you. If you think for a minute,
the MO of the Democrat Party's never changed,
which is the point of story time. It's never changed, and it's not going to. But when you think about the governor up there, Tim Walz, who's under investigation for all the fraud that Los had just laid out and talked about, it behooves him in every way to use inflammatory language. It behooves him in every way to see riots, to see people attacking ICE officers. Why? Because of the power structure that Los laid out in story time, and because if they're not talking about my fraud, I'm in better shape. I'm going to win in the court of public opinion because the Democrats won't even pay attention to it. They won't even know it.
A week ago, once Nick Shirley, the 23-year-old YouTuber and journalist, had discovered and aired out this fraud, a week and a half ago, that ended Tim Walz's career. And the Democrat Party largely tossed him aside. They're like, you are no more use to us. In fact, the fraud that you were helping us make it work, now everybody knows. Now we're in trouble. You gots to go. This is Tim Walz's way back into the good graces of the Democrat Party. I'll get an insurrection going, and maybe we can damage Trump with all the damage we'll do. Pick me, pick me, pick me.
I'm a good boy.
Look what I'm doing for the party.
I'm going to do it.
I know I failed on this whole fraud thing and my piggy bank, but I'm making up for it.
Getting it right over here.
That's what's going on. I know it seems like you'd be saying, well, why would a governor be rooting for this? Because what is first and foremost the most important thing to the communists?
Power.
The party and power.
That's it, dude.
That's it.
And it never will
goes
be
beyond family, goes beyond anything else. There is no religion. The religion is the power.
And the
government.
That's right. And I hope, I'm so hopeful that many Democrats will see this. That is not your grandpa's Democrat Party. That's not your uncle's or your dad's Democrat Party. It is completely different. It is a communist structure that does not love America. You love America. Even people, the Democrat Party, long time ago, they still loved America. They don't anymore. That party does not love this country. They don't. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. My name is Tug on Xtra 106.3. When we come back, I want to tell you the story of the bee and the fly. Next on Xtra 106.3, 6 o'clock hours, brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for January 19th. The Atlanta Falcons have found their guy as the team announced they have hired former Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski to a 5-year deal. This comes after the Dirty Birds hired Matt Ryan as the president of football operations, and the team now shifts their focus to fill their vacancy at the general manager position. Also in the NFL, another round of playoffs concluded over the weekend. The Denver Broncos defeated the Buffalo Bills in an overtime thriller 33-30 on Saturday. They lost starting quarterback Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks easily handled the San Francisco 49ers 41-6 to move Seattle one step closer to a Super Bowl return. And yesterday, the Patriots took care of business over the Houston Texans 28-16, and the Los Angeles Rams took down the Chicago Bears in overtime last night 20-17. In the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks fell to the Boston Celtics over the weekend 132-106. We'll be back in action today against the Milwaukee Bucks. For your sports headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Braves fans, get ready because Braves Fest is back on January 31st, presented by Delta. And there's a great lineup of events and activities for everyone to enjoy. This free Fan Fest includes returning fan favorites like player photo ops, catch on the field, the Braves fashion show, bowling with the Braves, and more. And fans can enjoy new additions like the player walk and rally to lead off the day, Braves country karaoke, live podcast recordings, and the list goes on. Plus, player autograph sessions are now on sale for purchase. And on Friday, January 30th, dust off your denim and diamonds and join the Braves for the Braves Fest Country Gala, presented by Truist. This high-energy rodeo night benefits the Atlanta Braves Foundation and offers exclusive access to your Braves players. Cowboys and cowgirls can brand their own hats. Enjoy live music and line dancing and so much more. Visit Braves.com/BravesFest to learn more. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Did you know that there are over 34,000 lawyers in the state of Georgia? Yet despite that huge number, Bruce Hagen was recently named by his peers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state. Do you know who is not among the top 100 lawyers in the state? Some clown standing on top of an 18-wheeler. Those kind of lawyers may make flashy ads, but they're just marketers, not real lawyers. If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need Bruce Hagen, a real lawyer who tries cases and wins. Call Bruce Hagen. He's the real deal for your injury case. Hagen-law.com.
Is your entire home winter ready? Every entry point? Cold air is invading your home through your windows, entry doors, and your biggest entry point, your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Keep that cold air out of your home and save on your heating bills with energy-efficient windows, entry doors, and garage doors from All Four Seasons. We're proud to be celebrating a quarter-century of quality work and customer care. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Democracy 2026.
There's been a message shift from the president as attention turns to the midterm elections. In Detroit, he highlighted economic accomplishments, but moved away from saying he will get all prices down. Instead, we heard that Americans will have more money in their wallets to afford more. The administration's still working to bring down prices. In the last inflation report, the cost of eggs down 21% over the past 12 months. Appliances getting cheaper, airfare and gas falling 3.4% in that time. But there are areas proving more difficult, like price increases in beef and food away from from home. So the president getting creative, calling on a cap of credit card interest rates for 12 months at 10%.
I think that people that are paying 28% interest should be protected. We're talking about for a one-year period, but when you have a bank, whether it's Jamie Dimon or anybody else, charging people 28, 32%, 30%, 31%, one case 35%, no, I'll help those people.
The president stressing, let the people have a break for 1 year. Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. The House of Representatives has never flipped in the middle of a Congress. Lawmakers are sworn in to begin the new Congress on January 3rd of odd years, following the election in November of the prior even year. But as recently as the 1930s, new Congresses began on December 7th, not a month after the election, but an astonishing 13 months after the election. In the 1930 midterms, Republicans held the House, but lost 52 seats, clinging to a narrow majority. The breakdown was 218 to 216, with one former labor member. However, during the 13-month interregnum before the start of the 72nd Congress in December 1931, 14 representatives-elect died. Democrats won enough special elections to seize the majority, 219 to 213, with one third-party member. One death was that of House Speaker Nicholas Longworth of Ohio. So this was not a mid-session switch, but the House would have changed hands in the middle of the Congress under the contemporary operating calendar. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Georgia politicians, if you want to win your election, the path to victory runs through Xtra 106.3. Xtra listeners are some of the most engaged, active in their communities, and outspoken on their beliefs, especially when it comes time to vote. So now's the time to get involved before our listeners move on to someone else. Tell the candidate you're voting for that if they want to win, the path to victory runs through Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra 106.3 app.
There are a few politicians have really gotten that message, that if you're not on Xtra, you're not being heard by the conservative audience. One of them, Dr. Rich McCormick, who is a frequent to the show and reaches out and says, hey, guys, I would love to be on and address your audience.
Yes, he does.
And after that, what were you about to say?
I was just showing you the text message from earlier.
Oh, yes, right. Well, yes, because Dr. McCormick had taken a picture.
You're going to get in trouble.
Should I not tell this?
Hey, go ahead.
Well, I know it's just that there was a Ben Burnett podcast cup. It was the Yeti.
The Yetis. I find them all over. I do get. He won't post them anywhere, but he does send them every once in a while.
Yeah, and sent you one. So I thought that was cool.
Oh, that was cool. That was not where I thought you were going.
No,
well played.
Give me a little credit here.
He's a listener.
Oh,
he pays attention.
I know, and the folks in his office do too. But that's all part of that coming on to Xtra to speak to the conservative audience because they're here, men, women, and split pretty much down the middle, which is always impressive and out of the ordinary. Mostly, it's typically news listeners are just men.
I was talking. You want to know something interesting about that dude? He has several cell phones. If you're on certain, I guess, committees or whatever, and you leave the country, you can't use.
Yeah, you use like an encrypted whatever.
Whatever it is. So I have like
19 phone numbers.
Rich McCormick 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're saved separately. So I never know
which one, where he's at.
I don't know.
Come from. Oh, you don't know what they correlate to.
If I don't need it. I actually say that I had trouble with the visa to Australia last year, and he rectified that for me in about 15 minutes.
Wow, impressive.
So when they say they don't do anything for you, it pays to know a politician.
Time. That's right. It pays. Bryce, you're learning quickly. You see, you've been here a full week now, and you're learning. That's why. Look,
I'm actually leering.
He's a great.
You are leering. Yes, that's great. He's actually leering. That's right.
We are in the 680 The Fan, Dickey Broadcasting Station Leering Center.
That's exactly right. And Bryce is leering all morning long. Knowing a politician helps and can help. I don't know Dr. McCormick like
but
does.
He put his people right
I know.
on it. I was like, dude, wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
because I was wondering what the hell I was going to do.
Yes, I'm twiddling my thumbs.
They don't ask Novak Djokovic. They do not play with that immigration stuff over there.
No kidding. No kidding. And they're wrong about it with him.
They were very wrong, but they did.
No,
the rules were the rules.
They stuck to their guns. Boy, howdy. They look like fools, but they stuck to their guns. Also, Greg Dolezal friend of the show, going to be in here starting at 7 o'clock. He's running for lieutenant governor, currently a state senator out of Cumming, Georgia. Great, terrific dude. I want to raise what I saw over the weekend that was so alarming to me. And I saw Don Lemon falsely tell a CNN audience or whomever he reports for these days that it was fine for these protesters to break into the church. It was fine. It was, and the pastor that he cornered up said this is not okay. And the FACE Act from 1994 legally says it's not okay to do that. Even though Don Lemon, the well-esteemed journalist,
turns out there's some limitations to that First Amendment, Don.
Exactly. You can't bust into people's churches. So just keep that in mind, Mr. Lemon, next time you decide to go with a crazy crowd of people.
What a dude.
Dude, a douche, you mean.
What a douche. But that guy had, for all intents and purposes, like that whole crew had a pretty sweet gig over at CNN.
Mm-hmm. And then they caught on. And they're like, you got to go.
Yeah, and everything he tries, like, I didn't.
He comes off as a clown show now.
Yeah, and he started with Elon, and Elon was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, because he wanted to put his show. Because remember, Tucker Carlson had kind of launched his show on X, and then I guess pivoted and has moved it to where
YouTube.
It is now. YouTube,
and it's still on X.
Yeah, it's on both. Don Lemon wanted, I don't know, $600 million, some crazy, wacky number. And Elon was like, no.
I'm not going to do that.
It's not worth that.
I didn't fire all these people at Twitter to give it all to your dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you see him break into church with the crazy rioters, and you realize why
I feel bad.
Even CNN dumped him.
It is detestable and deplorable that people would do something like that. That's just the decency of America.
Right, exactly.
I don't care if you disagree with me.
But communists don't have that decency, dude.
And I'm telling you, I think the midterm cycle for the Democrats is there for the taking. I genuinely believe that because independent voters don't like Trump. But you know what independent voters like less than Trump?
Breaking into churches.
That.
What about rioting and setting cities on fire? Because it looks terrible, man. It looks terrible. And for the Democrat Party to fan the flames, you had Ilhan Omar, what was saying, we got a cut from her saying GD America, you know, all this, kind of like Raphael Warnock did a little bit, which was mind-blowing. But when you see her say, hey, don't let your anger get the best of you. Yet go out and riot. Go out and burn the city down. She's talking out of both sides of her mouth, man. I think she's the worst of the worst.
I would, if I could lend the Trump administration any advice, and they never listen to anybody, I would tell them just to be quiet for 30 days and see what happens.
That's exactly right, dude. I'm with you.
Like, hey,
I think it'd be so smart.
We're not going to talk about Greenland.
Mm-mm.
We're not going to talk about Iran.
Yeah.
And we're going to get this sorted out behind closed doors of Venezuela. We're not making public comments right now.
We're icing it for 30 days.
No pun intended.
Yeah. I didn't even think. Yes, no pun intended at all.
And I might even ice for 30 days.
Yeah,
I'd be
no
like,
kidding.
guys, we're going
to let y'all burn it all down.
Burn it down.
Yeah.
That's the roadmap, dude.
And they that's the roadmap to win. Just let people see what the Democrats are.
Yep.
I agree with that. See, we don't always agree, but we agree on this. I want to tell you why I think this is a good idea. What Ben is saying is a good idea. I want you to hear this man. He is telling a story. And it's a story about a bee and a fly. And before you go rolling your eyes, dude, I'm telling you, there's wisdom in it. Listen.
Before you get into an argument, remember this quote. A bee does not waste its energy trying to convince a fly that honey is better than shit. Some minds are not meant to be changed. Save your energy for what actually matters.
Dude, genius. It's so genius. I'd never heard that before. And it makes such perfect sense. You can't argue with a clown. You can't argue with a fool. The good book tells you that you can't argue with those people. So don't.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to argue with anybody. Like when people light me up on social media about something I've said or something they don't like, I never respond.
Does that happen?
Once in a while. Yeah. Once in a while, it does, yeah.
We find you a column at the paper. They'll light you up a little more
exactly,
often.
I know.
That's where those wokesters are.
Is the newspaper?
Totally.
Well, that's because they're still wearing their mask and reading newspapers. Yes.
Did you hear Rogan? I forgot who he was on with, but he said that telltale sign that someone is a Democrat is they have a mask on in their car.
Yes.
By themselves. The Democrats' MAGA hat.
Yes, that's exactly right. Dude, it's exactly right. You see these you see the protesters out there? They got their...
It was Rand Paul last week.
Yeah.
It was. That's worth listening to, by the way, if you guys are ever...
Rogan and Rand Paul?
Yeah, because I don't agree with Rand all the time.
No, me either, but I respect him.
Yeah, he was real right about COVID.
Yeah, no kidding. Real right.
About all of it.
And you know, the crazy thing is, Bill Maher, classic liberal, he's like, we were wrong. Our side was wrong. Y'all fools can't admit it. You can't admit that you're wrong.
Oh, trust the science, Tug.
Yeah, that's what I was told. And the experts don't. How could you?
2 weeks to stop the spread.
Yeah, that's right. Bunch of bull crap. They lied to you from the beginning to the end, from what they knew about how it was created to what they were going to do with it politically. They lied to you from beginning to end. When we come back, Greg Dolezal will join us, and I want to get into that conversation about the rioters attacking the church next on Xtra 106.3.
When political discourse gets ugly, count on Xtra 106.3 to be the voice of reason when tempers flare. The violent rhetoric from the left won't change our mission. It won't affect our hearts, and it won't stop us from being the voice of our community. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Xtra 106.3 FM and the Xtra app.
Christmas is over, so why not get what you really wanted? Jaron Solomon here, and now is the time to treat yourself to the perfect piece at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, because you deserve it. Or maybe your New Year's resolution is to make someone else's dream come true with the perfect engagement ring. Or Valentine's Day with a gift that says it all. No matter what you are shopping for, we have 3 Atlanta locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, and endless ways to celebrate you and the ones you love. Don't forget to head to the website at SolomonBrothers.com to check out the clearance page to get the absolute best deals on the styles we simply bought too much of for 2025. And with our low price guarantee and flexible financing, luxury has never been more accessible. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, helping Atlanta say I do since 1982.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
At the Honest Car Guy, the entire process is completely transparent. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee, and we even prove it by giving you a copy of the bill of sale. We can sell you any make, any year, any model, and at the Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Military Matters.
The next time you see a drone light show illuminating the sky, it might be the same company filling a gap in the U.S. defense industry. Swarm Defense Technologies can deploy a literal swarm of drones, as the name describes, taking off in seconds to create beautiful images in the sky, but also to simulate war scenarios. While troops in Ukraine use Chinese companies for weapons, Swarm has to make sure each piece that goes into these drones, no matter how small, is NDAA compliant, a set of rules that protects our national defense. Beijing holds a dominant role in the industry, manufacturing a majority of the world's drones. The CEO of Swarm says their unique position as an existing drone operation will only help them bring the U.S. closer to China in this race. Some estimate the U.S. can produce about 100,000 drones a year, while China can produce somewhere around 1 million or more. With Military Matters, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
Securing America.
I, Kevin E. Lunday,
do solemnly swear that I will support.
Thursday, Admiral Kevin Lunday was sworn in as the 28th Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
With almost 40 years in the Coast Guard and with command experience that has ranged from the Indo-Pacific to Persian Gulf to cyberspace, Kevin Lunday was the man for the job.
The Admiral served as the acting Commandant for the last year, during which the Coast Guard registered a 200% increase in narcotics seizures and recruited its most new members since 1991.
The American people have depended on us to ensure the nation's economic prosperity and national security.
Lunday says he expects that to continue and made this pledge.
With a ready Coast Guard crew and the strong support of the American people, there is nothing we can't accomplish.
Kevin Ureski, Fox News.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
New anti-ICE controversy in Minneapolis. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A demonstration yesterday inside a church, now under federal civil rights investigation. Senior Justice Department advisor Alina Habba just told Fox.
The FACE Act is a long-standing federal statute that prohibits force, threats, obstruction, any kind of interference with a religious place of worship, and it carries criminal penalties.
Fox's Matt Finn's in Minneapolis.
They started chanting for Renee Good, the woman who was shot and killed by ICE earlier this month. Renee Good! Renee Good! The protesters believe one of the pastors works for ICE. Now, the organizer told Don Lemon, who was embedded with the protesters, that it was a clandestine operation meant to disrupt a, quote, key location, demanding justice for Good. One video appears to show a protester inside the church, calling the churchgoers comfortable white people.
1,500 U.S. troops are on standby if President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act to deal with protesters who've clashed with federal officers. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, a Democrat, calls sending troops ridiculous. Some European countries have sent soldiers to Greenland opposing President Trump's push to take over the territory that's part of Denmark, prompting the president to threaten tariffs on those NATO allies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells NBC's Meet the Press.
The president believes that enhanced security is not possible without Greenland being part of the U.S.
Iran is now admitting as many as 5,000 deaths in a crackdown on anti-regime protests that President Trump threatened to take action to stop.
The Ayatollah Khamenei addressed a crowd on Saturday that was chanting death to America and death to Israel as he called President Trump a criminal. The remarks, which were broadcast on state-controlled media, followed a slew of X posts where he falsely claimed the U.S. orchestrated the mass killing and chaos in Iran. In an interview with Politico, President Trump responded saying it's time to look for new leadership in Iran.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able to honor Scott with a mortgage-free smart home. Please join us supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If you can donate $11 a month, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Good morning. Appreciate you being up and early with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Tug and front office Los. Los is enjoying the ML King holiday with his daughters playing volleyball. I think there's probably lots of parents that understand that. The travel sports thing is real.
I didn't know where you were going when you said he's celebrating the MLK Day with girls volleyball. It is. I remember when I was in high school and college, we would always go skiing in Winter Place, West Virginia with the church youth group.
Fun times.
Leave Friday, be back Monday late. 2 solid days on the slopes. You just prayed it was cold enough to snow.
Yeah, right. Not me. I've never prayed for that, ever.
Well, if I'm going skiing.
I'd just rather not go skiing.
I'm a good southeast skier.
No way. I want no part of skiing. I want no part of snow. I would like to point out, too, for all the climate alarmists that I know are not in this audience, but you probably know 1 or 2 of them. It has snowed in Middle and South Georgia and Florida 2 years in a row now. 2 years in a row, I'd like to point out.
Even snow on the beach?
Even snow on the beach. 30A got snow. Exactly right. So if you have a climate alarmist that are in your friend group, you can let them know that the mystery has been solved. We're good. Everything's back. We're back to good.
I needed to warm up down at Grayton Beach, but that's for different reasons.
Yeah, well, I don't know the reason, but we'll get into that for sure. Our guest this hour, Greg Dolezal, state senator, lives up in Cumming and is running for lieutenant governor. Welcome, man. Thank you so much for being in here.
Good morning, guys. Good to see y'all again.
What you been up to? All nothing.
Man, we've been grinding. I was just telling Ben, though, my wife and half of my salary spent the weekend in Indianapolis for a cheer competition.
So you know exactly what we're talking about with Los and the travel sports.
It's unbelievable.
Dude, it is unreal. A friend of ours said one time, and this is in the last year or so, that the guy that does his taxes, he was like, hey, man, it's none of my business. I just want you to know what you spend any money on. You spent $21,000 on travel sports last year on your children. Look, I don't know if your kids are going to get a scholarship or not. I don't know that. There's no way for me to know that. But you can put $21,000 into a 529 plan and assure that you're going to pay for college. So it's just one of those things that makes people's hair blow back if you're not into the travel sports game. So, yeah.
I think we're 20 grand deep as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly, dude.
I have learned that for marital bliss, it's better to not even bring up the...
Just
you
pretend.
don't add it up. You just kind of do it in your head.
Ben Burnett, you're not falling for that, are you?
So my youngest, his coach, or my oldest, his coach reached out and was like, hey, do y'all want to go to Italy from Saturday to play soccer over spring break? And I was like, you know me, guys. Like, if I go somewhere, I'm going to stay for 30 or 45 days. And I was like, we'll pass. I was like, 10 days in Italy is great if you're the average person.
Oh, see, but Ben's not average. That's what we know.
It was like, if you could do Monaco, I'm definitely in for 10 days.
Ben went to Hawaii just to see my buddy Chris Tomlin, who was in town last night, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was. The Winter Jam was at State Farm.
State Farm, that's exactly right. There's a big, who else was there?
Were you at Winter Jam?
No, I had the other two kids.
Oh, and, they could have been Winter Jamming.
They were campaigning with me last night.
There you go. Where were we all?
We went to this church thing that was in Milton Alfred area, just down the street. I took them to dinner. So
there you go, big times there. We were at church yesterday, Perimeter Johns Creek, and at no point, because when you walk in, there's off-duty Johns Creek police officers in there, and every chance I get, Greg, Ben, I walk by them and I say thank you for your service, appreciate you being here. It doesn't take much, and they always smile, grateful to be here, and I feel safe and secure when I go to church on Sunday, and try to never miss.
I wish that everyone could feel safe and secure.
Which is the exact reason I brought it up. I want to play you a piece of audio. And the craziness about this is that Don Lemon, a man that presents himself as a journalist, told the pastor at this church that they stormed in Minnesota that, yeah, we have the right to do this. Little did he know that it was completely wrong. This is what it sounded like.
So you can see the protesters here have gathered over here. They're in the middle of the church. So in the beginning of the church service, the pastor was speaking, and Nikema stood up and said her piece, and then the protesters surrounded her. But this is a clandestine mission. I think they found out according to them, this is according to Operation Pull-Up, that one of the pastors here is a member of ICE. And so, here we go.
You took out the lead pastor.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of screaming and hollering, and you kind of get the scene of the chaos. Now, imagine yourself sitting at church, waiting for the pastor to deliver the message that that you feel is going to put you on the right path, get you right on a Sunday morning, put you in the place where you're learning about the Lord and praying and, just asking for forgiveness for the things that you've done earlier in the week, knowing that Christ has saved you and you're good, and that chaos breaks out. I don't know about y'all. I have zero patience for this. Less than zero. There's a lot of things I'll put up with, Greg. That ain't one of them.
Yeah, Don Lemon is a disgraced clown, but he beclowned himself even further yesterday when he got in the pastor's face. And I don't know if you saw this, but he started harping about the First Amendment.
Yes, he did. That's where I was bringing up the FACE Act from 1994 that says, Don Lemon, you're wrong. Ben, you cannot walk into a place of worship and do that. I have the act, the Freedom of Access Act from 1994 in front of me, interfering with religious freedom. You cannot do it. Don Lemon wrongfully told the pastor, "Oh, I completely have the right." They completely have the right.
Who was the president when that was signed into law?
That would be Bill Clinton.
What party was he a part of?
The former Democrat Party is now the Communist Party, I believe.
It's a different day and a different time, man. What happens with stuff like that? I said it in the last segment. I'll say it again. I think the Republican strategy for the next 30 days, where I feel like they're kind of on a slippery slope, I would go radio silent and I would just let them continue. I wouldn't say a single word publicly. There's no press. There's no nothing. I would put the heat on all the ridiculous things they do, because the American people, you can feel however you want to feel about Trump. The guy, sometimes he makes awesome decisions, and sometimes he doesn't do himself any favors. And that's the good with the bad. I like it more than I don't. But when it starts to get a little bit unfavorable or a little unsavory, just back away from the microphone for a little bit, because these people are the best thing to ever happen to you.
Yeah, the First Amendment, fellas, is a restriction on the government.
Yeah.
It is not a restriction on churches from being able to meet in a private place without having protesters and mobs come in and get in their faces and begin to chant. And it reminds me of the veil being lifted during the mostly peaceful protests of 2020, where people once again saw who the left is and how they want to govern and what they want to do to America. This is not two competing views of two different groups of people who both equally love America. This is one group of people who want to overthrow civil society as we know it.
Yeah, I believe that. I say it often. Like, we are experiencing a revolution of sorts. Like, these people feel like this is our time to topple what we don't believe in, capitalism, the American way. We hate it. We despise it. This is our opportunity. We see this opportunity. And I hear, Ben, that the protests that are happening in Minnesota right now, there is a group of socialists that are in New York City that are planning something very similar.
Of course.
But we've not really seen it grow until this point.
I just remember, I don't know if it was fortunate or not fortunate, but in 2020, I sat in local government, and I remember when George Floyd happened, and we didn't know everything. And when people reached out, I was like, here's the website to go fill out the protest permit. There are a couple of places.
This is when you're on the Alpharetta City Council.
And there are a couple of places where you guys want to do it. I'm getting out of the way. Dude, if I ever catch any of the three of my children at a protest for anything, I will kill them. I don't care if I agree with them.
That seems strong. But I know what you mean.
I will kill them.
No, I know what you mean. I'm the same way. Look, I'm as pro-life as you can possibly be, and I've never been to the Walk for Life.
Did y'all catch what that report just said, though? I don't know if y'all caught this. It says they were targeted because they found out that one of the pastors is an ICE agent.
Well, they thought. Did that turn out?
I don't know if it's true or not, but think about what they're doing. They are now researching to find out where law enforcement people live, where they work, where they eat, and they're going to go chase these people down and make their lives miserable because they're enforcing the laws in America.
And they may not feel that way, but they have a job to do. Right. You know what I mean? That's the wild thing is, like, guys, there are plenty of times where your law enforcement, like, you want to talk about foregoing your First Amendment rights. They don't know what's on the other end of a call. And they don't necessarily agree with ordinances or laws or whatever because they're people and you don't know how they vote. There's plenty of Democrats in the United States military. I won't say plenty, but there's enough.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they all look around sometimes and go, I don't know if I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
The individuality of this country doesn't mean that because you work somewhere or you hold a certain view, but it doesn't mean that you have an option.
Yeah.
You're voluntold.
Yeah, so here's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Here's what
we're doing.
Here's what we're doing. Yeah. Just like in any office.
Do you guys protect? I'm sure there are things in place, and Greg Dolezal is our guest state senator from Forsyth County and candidate for lieutenant governor. Do you guys have protections in place in the state of Georgia so that some of these people can remain a little more anonymous?
I know that we've done after there was the swatting incidences a few years ago where a bunch of elected officials were sitting at home on Thanksgiving, I believe it was, or maybe even Christmas, eating dinner, and somebody called in a hostage situation, and then SWAT teams swarmed these people's houses thinking there was a legitimate issue. And so we did some work on swatting, but also some of this anti-doxing kind of stuff. I don't know the clarity of that. I will tell you a funny story, though. Well, it's not funny actually at all. So I left my family early to go down and produce Passion Conference this year, which I've done for a long time. And my mom was having a conversation with my son, who's 11 years old. And she said, Lincoln, what do you think about your dad running for lieutenant governor? And he said, mostly good. And she's like, well, what do you mean mostly good? She's like, well, I'm afraid he might get shot. And she said, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, look at Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk. And he went down the whole list. And he's never talked to me about that, but it shows you where we're at, where it's enough of the psyche of an 11-year-old boy that violence and politics are linked.
Which is the point. If you're asking me, that's the point. They want to make you scared. They want to make you unnerved. They want your children to be afraid because you can control people that are scared. It's really easy to control people when they're frightened. 9/11, I mean, think about, because that's what 9/11 was about. How do we scare the Americans into not doing what we don't want them to do? Another example of this craziness that unfortunately is going to spread, and we'll see it next in New York, I expect. There's an article in the New York Post this morning talking about the people that are on Mamdani's team working with outside agitators to build in New York City what is happening in Minnesota. There is a hotel, it's the Doubletree in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they had to kick everyone out of the hotel. Everyone. Because those same agitators, those same protesters coming in and saying, we hear there's ICE here, we're going to burn this place down. We're going to cause bodily harm to people. So not only, and I don't know that there were ICE agents there, but if there were, they should be able to stay and not fear that the place they're going to be staying being burned down. But the people, the innocent people, I guess they're all innocent, the people had nothing to do with what was going on, were also kicked out of that hotel. This is what we're dealing with. And I think, Ben, you're exactly right about the whole sit back. Just let them speak.
Just take 30 days.
Just listen to them. Let them speak. And I think it's more important for the independents, because you brought that up earlier in last hour. The independents need to hear. They need to see the craziness that's happening, Greg, because when they see it, nobody goes, oh, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Nobody says that unless you're an agitator or a communist.
And I would also say listen to who doesn't speak, because I'm reminded of, again, 2020, the autonomous zone at Wendy's, the 8-year-old girl, Sequoia Turner, who was shot and killed. Yep. And I remember sitting in the state Senate thinking, is anyone going to say her name? And I actually went to the well and asked that question, because we were just lectured, to say whoever's name, George Floyd's name, Ahmaud Arbery's name. It was, say his name, say his name, say his name. And I kept waiting for these same people to say her name. But there wasn't a peep. And so I agree with Ben, but I think you've also got to be quiet and watch and see, are there any fair-minded Democrats left? Because not only are they trying to scare average, everyday Americans, they are trying to scare the moderate wing of their party to bend the knee to the AOC wing of the party.
And
what would Fetterman do? That's my he's my litmus test. I know
he's the only one. He's the one that's saying no. What's happening in Minnesota is not right. And the problem is, and Los brings this up a lot. You're listening to the Morning Extra, Tug and Los until 10. Ben Burnett in for Los today. You can hear his show Saturday from 2 to 3 and Sunday from noon until 1. Greg Dolezal running for lieutenant governor here in Georgia in the studio this morning. He's the only one that has the courage to say this is not right. What you're doing is not right. And I bet, and I could be wrong, I bet they're going to primary that guy because he says the right things. The unfortunate part, if you look at his voting record, it doesn't really match what he says. And going back to your point, listen to what people are saying. Listen, yes, but then go back and see how they're voting too, because he's not a conservative and he's not a friend of conservatives.
No, he's not.
And to bring it local back to Georgia, how would you like to be Keisha Lance Bottoms watching all of this unfold and thinking about the fact that you're the primary thing that people associate with you is the fact that the city burned down on your watch and now they're about to burn everything down again? It's just people push back against this kind of stuff, and there is a silent majority in this country that is not going to stand for these kind of shenanigans and this kind of violence. But it always goes this way. And I'm reminded of September 10th. Charlie Kirk gets murdered. We all see it happen. All of us are angry. I was here the weekend after. I was with y'all the weekend after the memorial that happened out in Arizona.
That's right.
And Not a single city burned.
No, I saw a lot of prayer. I saw a lot of gathering of people raising, the concerns that they had, but not tearing things up and not burning things down. I think that's the difference. And I hate for it, y'all, I do. And I hate for it to be us versus them, but it is. It's become that. Do you disagree, Ben? Do you think that's?
I think us versus them is not. I think it's like rational, sane people who love this country. I don't think it's a left and right thing.
Oh no, that's fine.
That's the us versus them.
Okay.
And it's like, but there is a portion of this country, and you start to see it more. And I hate to be the sensationalized guy with Ilhan Omar, where it's obvious that some of these people actually hate this country. They hate
it's clear.
And I don't get it, man. Like, you can do anything you want here. You can go to bed with anybody. You can do anything you want vocationally. There's a ton of upward mobility. Like, what is the problem that people have with that? I don't get it, man. I just don't.
And where else would you rather go?
There's no place else. Ronald Reagan had a great quote, and y'all may remember this. And he talked about a Cuban immigrant coming to America, and he was like, basically the sum of the story is the Cuban immigrant is like, if America falls, to the Ilhan Omar point, where else are you going? Where are you going for freedom? Is it Canada? Because I would say no.
I'm going to Greenland.
Is it Europe? Yeah, maybe. Is it Europe? Because they're arresting people for memes or thought control somehow. It's nuts. I don't know where you're going. If America falls, where are you going? I'll let you at 404-741-1230 if you can give me the place, because I don't know that place exists. When we continue on Extra, keeping it local, there was a breakdown, and this woman posted her breakdown. I'm not sure this is a great idea. Posting your mental breakdown to social media. She's here at Atlanta and did. Next on Extra.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
So your New Year's resolution was to slow down on the drinking. Now you're in a jail cell facing a DUI. Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
When you're ready for a new truck, SUV, or car, there's one place Atlanta drivers keep coming back to: Jim Ellis Chevrolet.
That's because Jim Ellis Chevrolet makes buying a Chevy quick, easy, and hassle-free.
No pressure, no games, just a smooth, transparent experience from start to finish.
And the Chevy lineup is stacked, from the legendary Silverado to the versatile Equinox to the bold new Blazer and the fuel-saving Chevy EVs.
Plus, they've got a huge selection in stock right now, which means more choices, better availability, and competitive pricing you can feel good about.
Here's the best part. You don't even have to start at the dealership. You can shop online, value your trade, schedule a test drive, even complete your paperwork from home. It's called the Jim Ellis Expressway, and it lets you buy the way you want, in-store, online, or a mix of both.
And when you do step inside, you're treated like a guest, not a transaction. That's the Jim Ellis difference. Shop online at JimEllisChevrolet.com or visit Jim Ellis Chevy on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog and our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. It's 2026 and it's going to be a great year. So let's start the year off with a quiz. So what's the difference in a criminal and a socialist Democrat? Well, a criminal wants to steal your stuff, but a socialist Democrat wants to steal your freedom. So let's talk about safes. The Atlanta Safe House has the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Brands like Browning, Champion, and Fort Knox. With over 500 safes in stock, we are the place to buy a safe. So come by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
How about a simple New Year's resolution? One that even I was able to achieve. Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You're going to feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look into that mirror, and you need to know what it feels like. And now, from Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment to their highly experienced team, they are the team that I personally recommend and trust in hair restoration. Did I mention your new hair is guaranteed to grow and can grow for life? How about celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 872-217-HAIR. Again, that's 872-217-HAIR. Discover what meeting your resolution can look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Atlanta legends are only on Extra 106.3 with the one and only Kimmer on your ride home every afternoon.
I never took any naughty pictures of either one of them.
Neither did I. You remember all their names, too. What a gentleman you are.
I stole something from every one of them.
Yeah.
I took a trinket.
Their pride, their good name.
Their sense of decency.
It's the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, January 19th, and here are your headlines. Former DeKalb County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton is facing felony charges, including aggravated assault by strangulation and cruelty to children following a domestic incident in Stone Mountain. Police say children were present during the alleged assault, leading to a third-degree child cruelty charge, and Horton was booked into the DeKalb County Jail without bond. Horton resigned from the district last fall after a separate federal indictment in Illinois tied to an alleged kickback scheme from a previous superintendent job. Atlanta leaders and volunteers gathered for the beloved Community Cleanup Day hosted by District 11 Councilmember Wayne Martin in Southwest Atlanta. More than 125 volunteers cleaned up litter across 20 streets in 5 neighborhoods, working alongside students, faith groups, and residents. Organizers say the event honored Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy while strengthening community pride and neighborhood connection. And finally, 2 Kennesaw State basketball players are facing federal charges in an alleged game-fixing and illegal sports betting scheme. Prosecutors say the players accepted bribes to influence their performance during a March 2024 game as part of a wider national investigation. KSU has suspended those involved, and authorities say that the case highlights growing concerns tied to legalized sports betting. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 46 and a low of 24. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Welcome to the Morning Extra. Thank you for being here. Los is out today with his daughters playing volleyball and in observation of the ML King holiday. My name is Tug, in with Ben Burnett, host of the Ben Burnett Show, former Alpharetta City Councilman, and Greg Dolezal is with us, who is running for Lieutenant Governor, current state senator here in the state of Georgia. And we're talking about some of the craziness that is going on in the world. I want to play you all a piece of audio before we get to some of the things going on in the Georgia session. This woman's here in Georgia. So when you see the craziness on the news in Minneapolis, or maybe you see it in New York, or maybe you see it in California, don't think we're immune from crazy people. We got them too.
ICE is in Metro Atlanta. I know my hair is greasy. I just woke up less than an hour ago, and I've been crying since I woke up because ICE is in Metro Atlanta. And I'm so worried about so many different people right now. It's really scary.
That's the crazy that we're dealing with right there. My hair is greasy because I've not washed it. I am melting down and posting it on social media. That way everybody knows that I'm nuts. And
you think she's on our team?
I don't think anybody wants her on their team. I mean, who wants that on their team? Can you imagine? We're like, all right, you're up. Go to the plate. Go. I can't. Nice is here. I can't swing the bat today. You know, I mean, no, she's not on our team. And the crazy thing is, people like that are the ones that are in Minneapolis specifically, because that's where the biggest story is. And ICE, I don't know if y'all saw the ICE officer. He was of Spanish descent. He is talking to some of the protesters, and he was like, y'all realize the person that we're going after is a pedophile, convicted pedophile. This is the worst of the worst. That's who you're defending. That's who Renee Good was defending. I don't understand. I am completely clueless of how these people are missing. Like, let's say you don't like, okay, fine. Let's have a debate on who we're going to target. I think that's, you know, we can have reasonable discussion about that. But when you're defending pedophiles and rapists and murderers, I don't get that, y'all. I mean, I'm reluctant to figure out where y'all are coming from.
I'm sure she shed a lot of tears for Laken Riley.
I bet.
A couple years ago.
I bet you're right.
And if you scroll back 2 years to her feed, I'm sure you can find that incident. But look,
where she's in tears.
You know, we have these arguments in the Senate chamber all the time, and you hear these talking points like, well, no human is illegal. And I've shared this with Ben, but my business partner's daughter-in-law was Laken Riley's best friend. And he wrote me an email when this happened. And I read it on the Senate floor. But it was these apologists, these open border apologists with the platitudes and the talking points of no human is illegal. They live in a Pollyannic world. And at some point in time, reality catches up. And there are bad people in the world. And you cannot have open borders, let anybody in. And when that happens and you're sane, then you say, we're going to undo what President Biden just did. And that's what Trump's doing. He's doing the right thing.
He is doing the right thing. I wish he had codified it. And anything that you can undo or do with the stroke of a pen, to me, it's an accomplishment today. If they don't do anything about it, it'll be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
And
the Democrats have already said, we're going, anything that's been done, as soon as we get back in power, we're getting rid of.
And that's my big regret with a narrow majority and the United States Senate is that you kind of get to see, look, they have borders all over planet Earth to see who comes and who goes. I was telling him in the first segment, I went to Australia last year and didn't have the right type of visa, and they take that real seriously. Ask Novak Djokovic, who they wouldn't let play in a tennis tournament. And why? I mean, those are our friends. Like, but they still wanted to make sure I had all the right stuff to go. I'm sure it was about making $15 and a guy flying 7,000 miles, but it should. I was okay with it because those are their rules, and I was the one who wanted to go work there. I don't understand the disconnect because it is not about anything other than the vote buying scheme in the long term.
That's exactly right.
That's all
100% what
and
it is.
that's like I wish they'd just say it.
I just know people are frustrated by it, and people see it, and they're like, "That is not the America I want to live in." So that's why I continue to be encouraged by the midterms, and I'm sure I'm naive to this, and maybe I live in a bubble too, but I can't imagine anybody going, "Yep, I want to go back to the Biden days. I want to continue some of this. I want the federal government to be weaponized to go after private citizens. I want open borders. I want all the the DOGE cuts and anything that we've gotten rid of. I want all that back." And that's what the Democrats keep saying. That's what they say they want. So maybe I'm crazy, Greg. I'll let you answer the question. If I'm crazy for thinking we have a good shot in the midterms because they're nuts.
I think we do. It's funny. Don Lemon is what comes to mind for me again because back in 2020, I keep coming back to this. But Lemon goes on CNN before he got canned, and he put up the bat signal. This is in the heat of the protests. He said, this is starting to show up in the polling. And after Lemon went on CNN and said that these, in other words, Americans don't like the cities burning down. This is showing up in the polling. There's $2 billion of damage. They stopped. And I think that you'll see them push it to the limit again. When it shows up in the polling, they'll stop. They'll pull back. Ben, I want to come back to what you said about the codifying thing because I agree with you. I think the president wishes he could codify it as well. And it gets to whether or not you should have 60 votes to end cloture in the United States Senate or not, which is the filibuster. And Republicans have to understand what's at stake here. The Democrats are going to get rid of the filibuster.
That's right. It's gone as soon as they get back.
They need to understand you are fighting trench warfare. This is politics is war by other means. And the Republicans should end the filibuster today. They should move as many judges as they can into place. They should pass every single law that's part of Trump's agenda, and they should not apologize for it.
I agree with that. 100%. 100% agree with that. Morning Extra and Extra 1063. Tug, along with Ben Burnett, host of the Ben Burnett Show, former Alpharetta City Councilman, and Greg Dolezal, running for Lieutenant Governor, current state senator here in the state of Georgia. Talk about data centers a little bit because they're getting a lot of play, right? There's a lot of people talking about data centers. I know that gas prices in the last year are down 6%. Love that. But energy, like to your house, is up 7%. A lot of people think data centers are the reason. I don't know. What is the answer?
Well, certainly what the answer is not is to give data centers sales tax abatements, which is what the state of Georgia started doing in 2018. I don't know why. I wasn't there at the time. What I will tell you is we actually passed a bill to get rid of that tax credit a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it all the way across the finish line. But last year, Georgia abated $600 million in revenue, state sales tax revenue, that we have to offset somehow. We either cut spending, which is fine by me, but in reality, if you think about it on a net neutral, we take about 4% of the income tax is what $600 million is. So I did the math on that. I'm like, the average Georgian is going to work for the first 2 weeks of the year to subsidize or to offset the taxes that we're giving data centers. We know they're coming anyway. We've done studies on this, and about 70% of them would be here regardless of the credit.
They would.
And it's like subsidizing gas stations or grocery stores. Like there is a demand. These things are coming. You don't subsidize them. And so people are hot. Now on the power consumption side, the average Georgian has seen a $480 per year increase in their power bill. And we know that a lot of these large load customers require capacity expansion. We tried to pass a bill in the Senate last year to require large load customers by law, not by Georgia Power rule, but by law, to pay for the capacity expansion that their demand is creating. We couldn't get that one across the finish line.
It is so wild to me because Tug and I I made some data center guy mad a couple weeks ago, and he called in and yelled at me.
Right.
And I said, I don't mean this like Georgia Power is the enemy. They are so powerful at making things go away when they just passed these restrictions with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs that if it's over a certain size, there has to be an additional level of oversight. What wasn't mentioned was the level of power consumption. That can't happen on accident because the only thing that does matter is the ultimate power consumption. And to your point, on the East Coast, it is Ashburn, Virginia, it is Atlanta, 56 Marietta, and it is Miami. These are where the internet hubs exist in the Southeast. So 70% of them just want to be close enough to Atlanta that you don't have to incentivize them to come because the object is latency. They don't want, and that's the red wheel of death on Netflix. That's all it is. That's their enemy. And they're trying to get as close to as many people as possible. And you shouldn't pay them to come because they're coming anyway.
I naively had no clue how powerful Georgia Power is, and I love my friends at Georgia Power, until I asked a couple questions in the Regulated Industries Committee hearing last year. I just asked a couple questions.
Did you learn?
I learned. There's these contract lobbyists out at the Capitol, and you see them all. They've got a couple clients. You might know who 3 or 4 of their clients are. The day after I asked questions, they were literally, I'm not exaggerating, they were lined up outside the office waiting to come see me. I'm like, I didn't know you worked for Georgia Power. I didn't know you worked for Georgia Power. So I learned very quickly how powerful they are. But look, they should be on board with this as well. They say that by their rule, they've forced these large load customers to do it. Let's just go ahead and put it into law. if you're doing it anyway, why are you so afraid of putting it into law? It will give the consumers and the residential ratepayers some confidence that they're not going to, build some, other reactor at Plant Vogtle that's going to cost who knows how many billions of dollars for data centers, and my electricity rate's going up because of it. That's all people are asking.
Georgia Power cost 2 Republican service commissioners their seats. And I don't care how they want to spin that with, well, it was a largely Atlanta, Savannah. Maybe some of that is true. You got those people. They got beat by 3 freaking touchdowns in a swing state. Like, you guys have the conservative majority.
It was 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
It was not.
It was a blowout.
Which is
that should scare you to death. Is what it should do, because those people that are being added to the Public Service Commission, they're not on our side.
They're not on our side. And Georgia Power co-signed on they got whatever they wanted and didn't give a rat's ass about those 2 individuals and tied the anvil around their legs. Enjoy what you guys created, Georgia Power.
Yeah.
Dolezal did not say that. I said that.
Right. That's a member of that statement, but I second it because I struggle with them.
I want to ask you, one of the things, as somebody who knows more than average people, the one thing I hear about people on the inside is that lobbyists don't like you.
Hold that thought. We're going to answer that question on the other side of the break here on Extra 106.3. Re-ask the question. That way people know what they're getting when they stick around. Re-ask the question to Greg.
Why do lobbyists hate you?
We're going to answer it next on Extra 106.3.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for January 19th. The Atlanta Falcons have found their guy as the team announced they have hired former Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski to a 5-year deal. This comes after the Dirty Birds hired Matt Ryan as the president of football operations, and the team now shifts their focus to fill their vacancy at the general manager position. Also in the NFL, another round of playoffs concluded over the weekend. The Denver Broncos defeated the Buffalo Bills in an overtime thriller 33-30 on Saturday, but lost starting quarterback Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks easily handled the San Francisco 49ers 41-6 to move Seattle one step closer to a Super Bowl return. And yesterday, the Patriots took care of business over the Houston Texans 28-16, and the Los Angeles Rams took down the Chicago Bears in overtime last night 20-17. In the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks fell to the Boston Celtics over the weekend 132-106. We'll be back in action today against the Milwaukee Bucks. With your sports headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Toro. Are you ready to tackle your lawn cutting this season? Get ahead of the game with Toro and Howard Brothers before spring gets here. Now's the perfect time to prepare for your spring. Get yourself into a trusted place like Howard Brothers and get yourself a trusted name like Toro. Their mowers, they're built to handle Georgia's toughest lawns with precision and durability on your side. Head to your local Howard Brothers and find the exact Toro mower to make your spring work a breeze. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Toro and Howard Brothers.
Hey, it's John Michaels, and look, some things are bigger than sports. In 2021, 13 American heroes gave their lives in Afghanistan, and 13 Heroes Premium Spirits was created to honor their sacrifice. You can make a real impact. Order direct at 13heroes.com, and every bottle sold means a donation straight to the heroes helping heroes at the Warrior Alliance. This clean, award-winning line of spirits are guaranteed to exceed expectations. Whether you're hosting a game or giving a gift, do something special. Order at 13heroes.com.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all 3 are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies. Glenn Beck is not a client and is paid for his endorsement.
You're setting a lot of goals for 2026, big plans, new adventures, and Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicles to get you there. The 2026 Subaru Forester is the same reliable SUV that's earned the trust of drivers for decades, but with more adventurous style and more advanced safety technology. And you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you up to 34 miles per gallon and the power of a 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine, adding plenty of go to your adventures. The 2026 Subaru Outback shares your adventurous spirit. With up to 32 miles per gallon and 9.5 inches of ground clearance, you can explore your world with confidence. And the 2026 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. A turbocharged 260 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine makes driving a thrill. Love is out there. Find it at Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or shop online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
When I first started using a CPAP, getting supplies and equipment was a horrible hassle. It pretty much stayed that way until I discovered CPAPsetcetera.com. Same-day shipping on anything you might need, including travel CPAPs, hoses, masks, you name it. Same-day shipping. CPAPsetc.com or visit their store in Alpharetta. So easy, and you could be preserving your health and saving your life.
Matt, where does confidence actually come from?
Well, Brooke, most people think it's about faking it or achieving more. But real confidence starts with something simpler, self-awareness.
So how do you know if you're self-aware? And more importantly, how do you increase it?
That's where our image process comes in at howpeopleseeyou.com.
Is that the same process made famous by casting director Sam Christensen from MASH?
Yeah, and today it's helping corporate professionals show up with clarity and authenticity. Because confidence starts when who you are matches how you're seen. Learn more at howpeopleseeyou.com and sign up for a free preview event. That's howpeopleseeyou.com.
Braves fans, get ready because Braves Fest is back on January 31st, presented by Delta. And there's a great lineup of events and activities for everyone to enjoy. This free Fan Fest includes returning fan favorites like player photo ops, catch on the field, the Braves Fashion Show, bowling with the Braves, and more. And fans can enjoy new additions like the player walk and rally to lead off the day, Braves Country Karaoke, live podcast recordings, and the list goes on. Plus, player autograph sessions are now on sale for purchase. And on Friday, January 30th, dust off your denim and diamonds and join the Braves for the Braves Fest Country Gala, presented by Truist. This high-energy rodeo night benefits the Atlanta Braves Foundation and offers exclusive access to your Braves players. Cowboys and cowgirls can brand their own hats. Enjoy live music and line dancing and so much more. Visit Braves.com/BravesFest to learn more. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
You'll remember that right after 9/11, which was 2001, by the way, that's 25 years ago, you started seeing Never Forget, the bumper stickers, the signs, Never Forget Hell. Seems, especially in New York, that the majority of the population has forgotten, maybe because no government schools really taught the truth about 9/11 following that Muslim Islamic attack. Some textbooks simply said radicals attacked New York City. So maybe that's why the idiot voters of New York City elected a Muslim to be mayor.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
There was an intriguing question that was asked to Greg Dolezal, our guest this morning on the Morning Xtra, state senator running for lieutenant governor. Co-hosting with me this morning, hey, it's Tug, is Ben Burnett, host of the Ben Burnett Show, Saturdays 2 to 3 and Sundays noon until 1, former Alpharetta city councilman. I'm going to let you re-rack that question.
It is widely reported amongst people in the industry that lobbyists do not like you. And I can't understand, every time I've ever asked you for help with anything, you've been helpful. Why does that exist?
Why do lobbyists hate you, Greg?
I don't know. I ask questions. I actually read bills. I try to think about it from the opposite side of what they're pitching. Sometimes I vote no on crony capitalist tax carve-outs. I'm not part of the scene down there, man. Like, you could spend, as a state legislator, you could rotate 5 nights a week, between bones, howls, and chops. Have somebody buy you bone-in filet mignon every single night. It's against the rules, by the way, but it happens. And then there's like a whole circuit you could go on over the summer. You could spend, and some people have done this, you could spend a month straight at the Cloister, just sitting and going and speaking at every single industry meeting that goes down there. And that's just not my scene, man. I'll buy my own steak dinner. I'd rather go on vacation with my family than a bunch of lobbyists. And so what I hope is actually true is that lobbyists respect me and that they know that I'm going to ask them questions. I'm going to help get the bills to a spot where my constituents want me to vote for them. But, I was criticized by members of my own state delegation for not having an apartment downtown. But I'm like, no, I've got 4 kids, 13 and under. I live 40 minutes away. I don't need to play poker till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm good.
In the what they call the hospitality suite, which is actually where the lobbyists rent out an apartment for the entire session and host legislators till 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just not my thing, man. Like I take the job seriously. I'm not enamored by somebody buying me a dinner, and so I'm probably not their favorite.
Dude, I love that you brought that up, the hospitality suite, because I don't think many people know that.
No, I'd like to find out more about that.
Ben, of course he was. Country Club Ben over here.
Tell me more.
Yeah, but I don't think many people know. I never heard of that before. I've never heard of that before. And I bet many people listening right now have never heard that there's a hospitality suite during the session so lobbyists can wine and dine and try to get favor or gain favor.
Yeah, and look, I've got a structural advantage. I can get home in 40 minutes. If you're from Savannah, Georgia,
yeah, it's a little tough.
You can't do that.
Yeah, sure.
And so you're stuck there every night, and you're looking for something to do. And so you're going to go to dinner. You're going to, unless you're a complete introvert, which if you're in this business, most people tend to be extroverts. But yeah, man, I mean, there's this whole symbiotic relationship. Part of the reason I tried to term limit the members of the General Assembly and move the Senate from a 2-year term to a 4-year term is the 2-year election cycle creates this really symbiotic relationship, because I can only call my next door neighbor every so often and ask for a donation, and that cadence is not once every 18 months.
Yeah.
Right? It's about once a decade I can call and ask for money. But the lobbyists and special interests will line up for you. If you're one of their guys, they'll fill your coffers up every year, and it's just part of their budget.
What does the check need to say? What's the amount you need? But I'm going to need a favor on the other side. Don't you forget me.
Yep.
Can't forget me. A friend of mine that I go to church with, he said one time he was asked to run for state senate or here in Georgia, and he was like, and they told him it was going to be, this was years and years ago, it was going to be so many $1 million to kind of get the campaign off the ground and to make it feasible. He said, but the reason I said no is because I knew I was going to owe a lot of people because I don't have that kind of money, and so he just avoided politics altogether. And I think most people, Ben, look at it that way. They're like, it feels bought and paid for.
It's either that or it's a rich man's game.
Yeah, right.
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two, or both. It could be both. It could be a little bit of both.
What talk, because we're going to wind up here. We got a couple of minutes, but talk about one of the things that Georgia's discussing intently is property tax caps, which may be more popular with the public, and I disagree with that one, or reducing the state income tax, which I do agree with, even though it might not be as popular. Run both of those down for us and talk about how I'm going to pay less. I'm interested.
Yeah, count me in for that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you do both. There is like this competing. Right now the Senate's talking a lot about we're going to eliminate the state income tax. We've laid out a path of how we're going to do that by 2032. The House is talking a lot about eliminating property taxes. The Senate's simultaneously talking about at least capping the rate of property tax increases. I think that the reason that a lot more people are talking about property taxes is there's just something that fundamentally rubs people the wrong way about the idea that the government can kick you out of your house if you don't pay the government every single year to live in your house. And especially when they think about grandma getting kicked out of her house at 82 years old because she can't afford the property tax, which, by the way, has quadrupled in the 25 years that she's owned her home. There's just something that feels un-American about that. And so I think that that's the reason that issue has a lot more traction. I've been talking about it for a long, long, long time. And in Forsyth County, our property tax increases are capped every single year, both at the school board level and at the county level. And that's why people are flocking to Forsyth County. Oh, and by the way, when you turn 65 years old, the school tax goes away altogether. It's an incredible advantage to people that live in my district. That's something I want to do statewide. You say you disagree, Ben, with the caps. You don't disagree with the caps. I think you disagree with like the elimination.
If I had to pick one over the other, I think reducing. I think the conservative stance is to value local control and let people make their own decisions at home. I'm biased from the background that I have, and I'm not saying that we never touched our millage rate in Alpharetta. No one cared. And I think that that's also important. Not that, I literally hasn't moved since before I was there in the 4 years since I've been gone. It's the same. And there are zero calls about reducing it because everything's nice. And the cops arrive in 4 minutes and they sell value. And I think they're one of the Republican governed places that do. There's not a bunch of them. You may disagree with that, but I believe that. But if you look, I think consumption and being competitive on the macro scale is where the state of Georgia really makes a difference. And if you want to compete with Austin, Texas, and you want to compete with Florida, who I think has the best governor in the country.
Amen.
I
agree with that.
I think that reducing the state income tax to zero is the right thing to do because I think the macroeconomy matters a lot more than average people give it credit for meaning. And that's the attraction.
And let me tie all this together with a bow. The data centers, the tax credits, the lobbyists, and the income tax, it's all related. So one thing that makes it hard to eliminate the state income tax right now, we bring in $16 billion a year in income tax. So $16 billion. We have $30 billion in tax carve-outs. So you could pick half of your favorite tax carve-outs and keep them and get rid of the other half that you don't like, and you could eliminate the income tax in one session of the Georgia General Assembly.
Bam!
Why is that not why do people not know that? Like, that's what I don't understand is how is that message that bad?
Yeah, so give me a 30-second answer because we got to wrap, but I want to know the answer if you can.
Look, man, we're all busy living our lives, and we're doom scrolling social media. And if I put up a 30-second Instagram thing about our tax code being Swiss cheese and the fact that we got all these tax carve outs, frankly, nobody will watch it.
Yeah.
So that's why nobody knows.
That's sad. It's sad to think. Where do folks find you so they can learn more about you?
Dolezal for Georgia, Dolezal for GA on X, and GregDolezal.com. That's my website.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Likewise, man.
Thank you so much for being in. I think we get so much more when folks come in and sit down, man. It's the best way.
We do.
Yeah.
We do, and I'm publicly supporting Greg, and that's all I'll say.
When we continue on Extra, thank you for being here, really. When we continue, we're reversing everything that's done by Donald Trump if the Democrats are ever elected again. How quickly can they do this? We'll talk about it after the top of the hour. To Fox News Update, Neil Bortz Report 2. This is Extra 106.3.
For the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, I'm going to have fun with this commentary. It's about AI, ChatGPT. Over the last couple of days, I have solved some great mysteries by just asking questions on AI. Number one, I like hot and sour soup when I go to P.F. Chang's, but the smell always reminds me of a barnyard. Why? I asked AI. AI acknowledged, yes, hot and sour soup does smell like a farm, a barn. The reason? White pepper. White pepper is used in hot and sour soup. And as it mixes with the other ingredients, it produces a smell comparable to a farmyard. Number two, I hate seafood. I learned some time ago that I have unusually dense taste buds. I am a super taster. And yes, AI informs me that super tasters, people with an unusually high number of taste buds, don't like seafood. And they don't like broccoli, check. And they don't like Brussels sprouts, check. So I came by my no seafood rule, honestly. And the last one, pickup truck drivers. I wanted to know if they were, as I suspected, some of the worst drivers on the road. I'll quote, multiple traffic safety and insurance analysis have found that pickup trucks are overrepresented in certain aggressive and high-risk driving behaviors, including tailgating, speeding, failure to yield, road rage, and serious injury crashes. Why is that? Higher ride height and mass can create a sense of control or intimidation, and pickup truck drivers feel more protected so they can use less caution. Who's at fault here? Younger and middle-aged men. Quote, pickup trucks are disproportionately involved in aggressive driving behaviors. AI, it's a lot of fun. And it will confirm that talk show hosts generally know more than the dumb masses. Don't say that fast. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Atlanta legends are only on Extra 106.3 with the one and only Kimmer on your ride home every afternoon.
If you're trying mayors and governors of a state looking you in the eye through the TV camera and lying because they want to keep power and they don't care about truth or justice. And these are the same people that would put you and me and anyone who thinks like us in camps or worse. Because if they can do that to an ICE agent, what do you think they'll do to you, John Q. Public?
It's the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
They went to church to protest. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The protesters in an anti-ICE demonstration caught on video chanting Renee Good's name, the woman who was shot in a confrontation with an immigration agent. They were inside a St. Paul, Minnesota church where they say one of the pastors has ties to ICE. That protest is now under federal investigation. Senior Justice Department advisor Alina Hobbit tells Fox.
Our Civil Rights Division will come down hard on anybody who tries to impede or intimidate somebody in a place of worship.
1,500 U.S. troops are on standby after President Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to deal with the protesters clashing with federal officers. But Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, a Democrat, tells CNN State of the Union.
This is, well, it's ridiculous, but we will not be intimidated by the actions of this federal government.
The president's also continuing his push to take control of Greenland, a territory of Denmark, threatening tariffs on some European allies who oppose it.
The president saying on Truth Social, we have subsidized Denmark and all of the countries of the European Union for many years by not charging them tariffs. It is time for Denmark to give back. World peace is at stake. China and Russia want Greenland, and there is nothing that Denmark can do about it. The tariffs on Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, Netherlands, and Finland are set to kick in on February 1st.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera at the White House. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the tariffs are wrong. France's president says Europeans may retaliate. At least 39 people are dead in Spain after a high-speed train derailed and collided with a passenger train going the other way. Some bodies found hundreds of feet away.
One passenger said the impact felt like an earthquake. Dozens remain in the hospital. The cause may not be known for weeks because Transport Minister Oscar Puente says experts are extremely baffled. The train was less than 4 years old and the track newly renovated.
That's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Following the attacks on 9/11/01, FDNY firefighter Daniel Foley assisted in the rescue and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. Daniel spent months and months searching for victims. Now, Daniel's death was the direct result of 9/11 related cancer. He leaves behind his wife, Carrie, and their children. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family's home. Join us. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Extra 106.3 app.
Please share the show with anybody that would enjoy it, that would get something out of it, and we would be grateful. Give the advertisers that share your values here in the morning show and the afternoon show on Extra 106.3, give them the first chance to earn your business. They share your values. If I'm not asking you to buy a roof, you don't need a roof. I'm not asking you to buy a car if you don't need a car. But when it's time, and you do need a new roof, and at some point you will, give Southern Exteriors the chance to earn your business. Give the Honest Car Guy the first chance to earn your business. That's all I ask for putting on the show, because it all works together, right? Advertisers keep us on the air. You buy their product or their service, that keeps them in business, and you keep entertained. That's the way this works. We don't try to hide it. We don't try to make it complicated, more complicated than it is or has to be. But when you can, give our advertisers the first opportunity to earn your business. My name is Tug Cowart. Typically, Front Office Los is here. He's enjoying the MLK Junior holiday with his daughters down at Little Big South, Georgia World Congress Center, playing volleyball. Both girls, both age groups are playing. Ben Burnett from The Ben Burnett Show and former Alpharetta City Councilman joins me this morning. You can hear his shows Saturday at 2 and Sunday at noon on Extra. Did I say former Alpharetta City Councilman? I can't remember.
You do. You say that all the time.
Well,
I'm like, that's a distant memory now.
Well, it's been 4 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little over.
Yeah. So, but I want people to know a little bit about your background. That's all.
I know a little bit about the swamp.
Yeah. I know you do.
That exists.
I know you do. The first thing I'm going to tell you that is the 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. They're doing the 29th annual winter white sale right now, so you can save up to $2,300. Again, not asking you to do anything you don't need, but a maintenance agreement is always good for your AC and your heat. Come out twice a year, semi-annually, and keep that. So that's one of the services they provide.
They do the filters?
Yeah, they do it all, man. Making sure those things are in tip-top shape for sure. The first thing you need to know this morning as you head out.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong.
Let's go.
The sun cracks the horizon.
The biggest thing, the biggest story of the day for you when you get to the office, if you're working today like Ben and I are, or if it's just something you'll text back and forth with your friends.
Just off.
Yeah,
and you just this is like what you do for fun.
Yeah, right. Listen to conservative talk and get yourself fired up first thing in the morning.
Oh God, I'm just ready to rip somebody's head off.
Let's go. The DOJ is investigating the anti-ICE protest there at the Minneapolis church. It's unbelievable. We talked with Greg Dolezal, who's running for lieutenant governor last hour, about this. It is so ridiculous. It's so absurd. I have zero patience for it. There's a lot of things people can do and say, and I'll sit back. I might not like it. I might tell you I don't like it. But when it comes to disrupting a church service by a bunch of left-wing agitators, I have less than zero room for that in my life. I have less than zero room for that with anything that's happening across this country. There's a lot of things I can put up with. Ben, that's not one of them.
No, it reminds me, we had somebody at church, this is several years ago, that wasn't right, wandered in, started raising a ruckus.
Oh, no.
And just knowing it wasn't politically motivated or anything like that. Dude, it was 2022, 3. There are things he didn't stay real long.
Yeah, no, and he shouldn't.
No.
And he shouldn't.
And I hate that Alpharetta's a little, I was just like, guys, I wasn't waiting to find out what was going to happen.
You can't wait to find out.
Hell no.
These days?
And I'm tolerant, mild-mannered, and whatever. I was like, get the hell out of here.
Dude, you got to go.
You got to go.
This is not the place for that.
No.
This is not the place. There's a place that's on the sidewalk where you can do a megaphone, you can hold up signs, you can do all that.
Yeah, but man,
peacefully protest.
What is the strategy behind that? That's what I don't understand. You think they're just going to walk right up to the line again until they start losing favor with the American people and stop?
Yep.
Dude, we're too smart after 2020.
I would think so. I would like to think so. And I think that the American people, definitely conservatives, no question conservatives, see this and don't want to tolerate it. But I think independents see this and go, Man, this ain't good. This ain't good for America.
But I'll tell you, the thing on the screen is 1,500 troops prepped for potential deployment to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Insurrection Act?
I'm not sure that's the right thing to do, Donald Trump. I think you ought to let these people show their ass, because if only bad things happen when you deploy. I'm not saying it doesn't get cleaned up.
Sure.
I'm not.
But we've seen in D.C. and Memphis that it does.
But even if you win that political battle, people don't always like how it feels, and you don't need a bunch of stuff to go wrong for the left to be like, gotcha.
Yeah, and they're waiting on it.
They're waiting on it.
That's what they're provoking.
And
that's what they hope to get in that church.
I'm telling you, Mr. President, I love you. Dude, I'm just not. I think if you show the restraint and you keep those people home, I think it's better. I just do.
I wrestle with it because
you see what I'm saying.
No, I do. Yeah, politically, absolutely. I understand why you're saying it, but there's that bit of me though. It's like, dude, how long do we have to let that go on?
I'm with you, but you and I are both in favor of Nicolas Maduro being not the dictator,
without a doubt,
which is favorable with the American people by like 2 or 3 points. And you and I are like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. John Fetterman's like, yeah, that was the right thing to do. Marco Rubio, that's the right thing to do. But you can't have a bunch of marginal victories. And
I don't think that's marginal, though.
I'm
you talking about politically
with the American people, because on some level the politics matters, and you can hate that.
Yeah, but
and
you
do.
I know, but he's a populist. And he needs, for him.
Yeah, but you need to find a 70-30 issue.
No, I agree. But that's what I'm saying. He's a populist, so he's got his finger to the wind. Like, where's the popularity taking me? Like, what's most popular with the American people? That's what he is as a politician.
Yeah, but you can get in trouble. It's like we talked about, where the vast majority of Georgians think that capping or removing property taxes is the right thing to do, and I'm like, no. Look, and the public is there. Like, that's what they want. But sometimes the public is wrong.
Sure. No, they are. A lot of times they get it wrong.
And that's one of the things that's like, so if you've got 4 or 5, Greenland, Iran, Minneapolis, Venezuela, what are we going to do? You start to have a bunch of your ass hanging out in the wind.
Yeah.
And you need them all to go right, and so does your party. And they ain't all going to go right if you choose to go pursue them all.
At the same time.
Yeah, which is what's happening.
At the same time, I understand why we need Greenland. The Chinese and the Russians, dude, they're about to start laying cables in the ocean floor. We know what they're trying to do up there, right?
Sure. They're already there, but yes.
Yeah. What'd you say?
There are the cables and stuff. That already is a thing.
Right. But there's all kinds of things that they would love to be able to take our national defense down a notch. And that's why they're there. That's why those boats, Chinese and Russian, are patrolling the whole Arctic and Greenland. So we know that's there. We know that's happening. We know that our biggest enemy is China. Russia probably not too far down the road. So I feel like that's something that needs to be tackled. The Iran thing. Do we care that those people were being slaughtered? I think we do. I do.
Can you afford to care about 4 things simultaneously?
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then if you can't, how do you lay them out? It goes national security first, wouldn't you think?
I do. I wonder, and I'm sure we'll talk about this over the next 2 hours. Like, I like Israel a lot. I don't trust Benjamin Netanyahu further than I can throw him. And that's because the man has sought the supreme power in that country for 40 years, and you got to do some wind twisting to get there. I don't always disagree with him either, but I'm saying, it was 40 years ago, who's the president? George H.W. Bush? Like, that's a lot of twisting in the wind, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that deserves, like, I love the fact that there are people in conservative media who are like, they're not in love with him. Ben Shapiro's in love with him, but Tucker Carlson's like, I'm not in love with that dude.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm in love with him, but I do think that he's a pretty good ally to the United States.
I think he's a pretty good ally to him.
Right. He's definitely that. Definitely, I can agree with that. But I do think Israel, that's the only place in the Middle East where you can live the way you want to live.
Yes.
0 other places. 0. And they've been a great ally to the United States for many, many years and continue to be a great ally to the United States. I'm not saying they're perfect, because I don't think perfect exists. I definitely wouldn't say Donald Trump is perfect, but I think he's the best man for the job.
Well, and you've seen President Trump at certain points. This is what's so interesting to watch Trump vacillate to be very loyal to Netanyahu, will do anything, and then to watch him take out Hamas and Qatar, and Donald Trump was like, we're not doing that. That ends today.
That ends, and it has.
And to watch the destruction, quote unquote, destruction of the Iran nuclear sites, which was probably more of a setback.
A major setback, but a setback.
And I think President Trump was very irritated over the fact that he went to the lengths he did to do what they did, and it didn't have the outcome that Netanyahu had said. I think that, and now to see, what's that, 6 months ago? And now to see Trump back in the good graces of Netanyahu with the same old Netanyahu, Iran is death to Israel, death to America. I was like, God, do you only have one play?
But for the I don't know, the existence of time, death to Israel's been a real thing.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you only got one play, but when it's constantly death to Israel, I'm sure you're a little bit sensitive to it.
This is the thing that I don't know that. And I think if Iran could return to Western values and oil production,
that'd be great.
It would be, and I think those people want that.
Yes, they do.
And so, but so do the Ukrainians. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like and they've got precious rare earth minerals. You know, it's different than Iran, but it's like we've seen how conservatives have treated that issue. I just like Iran. If you actually got in a direct conflict with them, they can turn the lights off over here.
Yeah, sure they could. So could the Chinese. So could the Russians.
You okay with that?
We the same things,
because Americans don't like pain at all.
No, we have a zero tolerance for pain.
And I can tell you, that's pain's coming,
and that's problematic.
Yeah,
the fact that the American people have gotten so fat and happy for so many years.
You're looking at one.
We have forgotten how to fight.
Yeah.
We have forgotten that this does not come free. The way we live is not free. And there are a lot of people that would love to end it. You think pain? Wait till it's over. That's when the real pain hits. Is there pain for doing the things that Donald Trump is doing? Yes, there is. Is there going to be pain for a while? Yes. Are things going to be perfectly affordable in every sector? No. If you don't realize that you have to take a little pain to get yourself in shape, then wait till the heart attack happens, and then you have to. Maybe that is an EMP over the Arctic and taking down all of our communications, cell, and every aspect of living in 2026.
I'm like, if Denmark was down and Greenland was down, to be, to work out some sort of real estate transaction, I'm good. I've read enough Tom Clancy books to know how the man feels, and sometimes I feel like Trump's foreign policy is like straight out of The Hunt for Red October.
I love it.
Which is actually probably more true than I wish it was.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of that, but like you can't.
You're just saying
you piss off all our allies all the time.
At the same time. What are the Europeans bringing to the table?
And that is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. The one time in the last 5 years that they have chosen to get tough is over Greenland. Are you freaking kidding me? And save for the fact that I don't necessarily think we should take it, right? Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, whatever. I get it. But I was like, I don't necessarily want to stand up a government in Venezuela, overthrow one in Iran, and then be like, and by the way, the Greenland subcontinent is ours now. Like, that just sounds like a really busy January.
It is. You're not wrong about that part. But when do you do it if you don't? When do you do it?
This is the opportunity. But I'll say this: Trump loves the media, and one of the counterintuitive things to running a super streamlined and successful government is that the media have First Amendment rights in this country. That doesn't mean that you have to give them unprecedented access, and sometimes you ought to shut the hell up.
No, fair. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
If you wanted to take Greenland, just do it.
Yeah.
Quit talking about it, which makes me think he doesn't mean it, and he's looking for something out of the Europeans. But the trade war he's starting over there with them, I was like, Dude, come on. Like, we are tired. I pay attention to this stuff, and I'm
not tired. I'm not.
I don't think necessarily.
I understand where you come from, but I'm saying,
like, and you got to keep your party somewhat intact in the midterms, unless he's like, screw it. Which I'm not sure he cares about that either.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Maybe I feel like he does. I feel like he does because he knows that the whole thing is going to be derail Trump. So he needs to care about it if he doesn't. But my thing is, man, the Democrats ain't waiting. They're marching on Minneapolis, about to start it in New York. They don't wait. They attack.
He ought to be. Whatever they're going to do, they ought to do it, and they ought to tell nobody about it. And,
I'm fine with that.
And I don't want to hear from him for a month. Just show me the results.
I'm fine with that.
We'll cover for you, dude.
Yeah,
we will. We might be better at it than you are.
Yeah, most likely, because he's oftentimes tells them too much. He's too honest sometimes.
Well, he's too a lot of things. But I loved him when he was on the Rocky airplane last week or whatever, and Caroline Levitt was like, "Where's Caroline?"
Yeah, so good. This is the best, man. I just, if it's good for America, I want him doing it. Yeah. And he's only got so much time. He's only got so much time to get it done. Because the Democrats are going to go the exact opposite way.
I think that he's got a runway that it all works out. I would love to see what's the biggest one you want to see? Like, of the things we just unpacked, what is the one thing you think
Venezuela's kind of, I mean, that's already kind of taken care of, right? I mean, you got to put it all together.
I love that we did regime change in 2.5 hours.
Lickety split. And using, what is it, the LRAD, where they're frying people from their insides?
Yeah.
You know, that used to be in this big truck, now it's on a backpack. The Venezuelan soldiers, like, I don't know how they did what they did. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
I love that. Because that's what America's supposed to be.
Surprise!
Yeah, what you think now? Greenland's important. Supporting the Iranian people is important, but I think that's let the Iranians do what they're going to do. It's not our place. You know what I mean?
That is an interesting conversation we should have. If you had to pick one, what's the most important? Gosh,
I think Greenland may be national security, because I'm always a fan of that. We'll talk about that, and then I want to play you a piece of audio from the Democrats physically saying, when we get the chance, we're going to roll back everything Trump has done. Doge cuts, all of it. Next on Extra 106.3.
President Trump is restoring freedom, bringing justice back to America, and restoring power to the people. And the conservative voice of Atlanta has his back and will always bring you the national and local voices you need when it matters most. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
So your New Year's resolution was to slow down on the drinking. Now you're in a jail cell facing a DUI. Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, on a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%. Well, really, it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We have become a highly sought-after turf installation company in the Atlanta and North Georgia luxury residential market. Big reason for that is our installers are ATL Turf Co. employees. We do not outsource labor. They are trained to be experts in the turf installation process, drainage, grading. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Has it crossed your mind? Have you been considering an electric vehicle? Well, make sure it's practical and make it a Toyota. The new 2026 Toyota BZ, estimated 314-mile all-electric driving range and strong immediate acceleration. 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Now we're talking about a quiet, smooth ride that also gives you punch. And it makes your daily drive easier on top of that because with an option to charge at home, you can eliminate gas station stops and keep your routine simple. And here's why to buy at Marietta Toyota. We, of course, have been serving Marietta since 1975, and this team knows Toyota better than anybody else. They know what real inventory is and ongoing support right here on the Kyle Parkway South location. Right now, 0% APR for 72 months plus $3,500 bonus cash on the new 2026 BZ. Marietta Toyota, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
0% APR for 72 months equals $1,389 for $1,000 finance with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. $3,500 bonus APR cash from SCTF requires financing with SCTF. Applied as a down payment. No cash back. Offer ends 2/2/26.
Ready to sell your home fast and for top dollar? Trust Design to Sell. Staging and interior design experts recognized as one of the top 10 staging companies in the nation. From stylish redesigns to full-service staging, Design to Sell creates spaces buyers fall in love with. Faster sales, better offers. That's the power of great design. Call 678-505-1433 or visit homedesign2sell.com and ask for the Fan Special.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock, because your personal information is in endless places that are outside of your control. And it only takes one mistake, not even your mistake, and it'll expose you to identity theft and financial losses. Tanya and I know this firsthand, and LifeLock alerted us before any damage was done. This has happened to us several times. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second and alerts you to threats that you could miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 million protection package. In fact, restoration is guaranteed or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. That's LifeLock.com, promo code BECK. Save 40%. Terms and conditions to apply.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, January 19th, and here are your headlines. Former DeKalb County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton is facing felony charges, including aggravated assault by strangulation and cruelty to children following a domestic incident in Stone Mountain. Police say children were present during the alleged assault, leading to a third-degree child cruelty charge, and Horton was booked into the DeKalb County Jail without bond. Horton resigned from the district last fall after a separate federal indictment in Illinois tied to an alleged kickback scheme from a previous superintendent job. Atlanta leaders and volunteers volunteers gathered for the beloved Community Cleanup Day hosted by District 11 Councilmember Wayne Martin in Southwest Atlanta. More than 125 volunteers cleaned up litter across 20 streets in 5 neighborhoods, working alongside students, faith groups, and residents. Organizers say the event honored Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy while strengthening community pride and neighborhood connection. And finally, 2 Kennesaw State basketball players are facing federal charges in an alleged game fixing and illegal sports betting scheme. Prosecutors say the players accepted bribes to influence their performance during a March 2024 game as part of a wider national investigation. KSU has suspended those involved, and authorities say that the case highlights growing concerns tied to legalized sports betting. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 46 and a low of 24. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. They are in the midst of their 29th annual Winter White Sale, up to $2,300 in savings. Everything is on sale. Heating, air, just home health and home health solutions, making sure that the air that you breathe inside your house, that is on sale too. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Call Chuck and his team. They'll take care of you. They get out to your house. They're coming out to my house tomorrow, I do believe. I think it's tomorrow. Have to look at the family calendar.
I love home health solutions. That was good. I'm like, I might start a heating and air company. Chuck, watch out. We're going to be home health solutions. Use your flexible spending account to clean this air up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like my son has asthma.
Sure.
And he deals with.
So does mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he deals with
Me
that
as well.
stuff. You too. Shoot, everybody's got it.
But not me. I'm the iron lung.
I'm iron lung too. I don't have it either. But when you're talking about dirty air inside your house, man, can you imagine how
I always
dirty
switch it right. I switch it 2 times, like when pollen season starts and when pollen season ends. Even though it's probably against standard protocol.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm like, let's clean those filters
Yeah,
out.
whatever. What's your protocol? Doesn't matter what standard protocol. What's your protocol? That's the thing.
Get up there and change that filter, woman.
Is that what you say to your wife? Yeah. I bet she would punch you in the mouth. Central Heat's out tomorrow at my house. So you can get them out to your house too. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
You're also a client.
I have, but for years. For years. Even before they asked me to speak on their behalf. So we've probably been working with them 7, 8, 9 years. And
Dude, and they're not owned by a private equity hedge fund.
One of the very few in town.
And I will tell you, because we complain about this regular. I feel like this is like a lunch conversation we have all the time. Is like, I don't like. I'm in favor of businesses owning and operating however they want to do it, and I get you're in it for them, for you, right?
Yep.
And I hate private equity and venture capital.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I don't trust a business that deals with them. I just don't.
Me either. Dude, me either. I understand. I get it. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, operate how you want to operate, but I'm going with the local guy.
Anytime they're in anything I'm doing and I have to deal with them sometimes, I'm like, man, what do I not know that is in this paperwork?
Yeah, that's right. I actually asked a lawyer one time that we were talking to on Justice Unfiltered, which is the Second Chance Bail Bond show. Yeah. Daniel Madelon, terrific guy. And I was like, do you ever stop, asking this lawyer, do you ever stop using a service or an app or something because of the T's and C's? Like, does it make you nervous what's in there? Because it does me.
Oh, God only knows what's on my Apple iTunes.
No, that's right.
Terms and conditions.
Dude, listening to everything you say, flipping on the recorder anytime they want to. You know what I mean? And I asked this lawyer that, and he said no. He's like, I've just given up. A lawyer told me that.
If I'm not posting on Instagram, it comes right off my phone.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't miss it. I'll do it if I got to post something or whatever. There's something funny that happens, and you want to throw it up for your friends and loved ones.
Yeah.
But dude, if you need me, call me, because the odds that Instagram is not on my phone are very real.
Yeah,
I won't delete the account. I'll still advertise it.
Yeah.
I don't trust it, man.
None
of it. Mark Zuckerberg.
Dude, I don't trust any of them. Why would you?
Hell no.
Give me one reason you would trust any of those companies. So Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft, give me one reason to trust any of them.
We've gone around our ass to get to our elbow to say, Chuck and Central Heating and Air do a great job.
That's right. I'd
you
already
ought to call them.
I'd already forgotten. Dude, I was about to get on my soapbox. All these people. Because I got a soapbox.
That's a tangled web we weave if you guys run that one in the morning.
Well, but that's the thing. That's the thing is Chuck doesn't have all those T's and C's, right? Chuck's the guy. If you call Central Heating and Air Conditioning right now, first of all, you will talk to a person. You won't get put into automation. None of that. That doesn't happen at Central.
It's a human.
You speak with a human. How many places do you call you actually speak with a human these days? Very few. Like second ring, Central Heating and Air Conditioning. My name is, how can I help you? Ask if Chuck is in the office. That's the test. You think I'm lying to you? Ask if Chuck is in the office. When you call, ask if he's there. And then I would like to also point out, had a friend.
I bet he's loved this cold snap, by the way.
Absolutely. It's good for business, I'm sure. Friend of ours called Chuck on Friday about lunchtime. Chuck always says, when you call, we will be out there within 24 hours to get you up and running. Friend called around noon, maybe a little before noon on Friday. They were out there in 4 hours. They can't always do it. They always will get out there within 24 hours, but sometimes when everything works out the way it's supposed to, he can be out there same day. And he was for my friend on Friday, my friend Aaron. So if there's not a reason to call them, I can't think of another because they're good folks. 770-GET-HEAT-CentralHeat.com is the website. All right. So in that last segment, we talked about what do you choose? Is it Greenland? Is it Venezuela? Is it Iran? Is there anything else that we've left out? Minneapolis, I guess, sending more 1,500 more ICE agents. And
you be careful with that one, Mr. President. That's a trap.
Yeah. What are you choosing? I'll let you start.
All right. Well, let's positives and negatives. I don't trust Benjamin Netanyahu. I like the Israeli people.
Yeah, me too.
I think that I don't think he's that popular in his own country sometimes. And but I think he also realizes he's getting older. And if he's going to actually get rid of them, it's now. If it's going to be like his crowning achievement, which I'm not sure is the right way to look at something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Greenland, I don't actually believe that China and Russia are going to take it.
I'm not saying they're going to take it. I never said they're going to take it. Did you think that I said?
No, but I was sat on the Alpharetta City Council for 4 years. Greenland is smaller than the city of Alpharetta as far as people go.
Yeah.
So that battle for Greenland will be about when they land.
You're looking at it from a person point of view. I'm looking at it from a national security point of view. I do believe that the Chinese and the Russians are operating in the Arctic around Greenland. We know that to be true.
Yeah, but they can.
Right. That's why we want to own it. That's why all of a sudden that changes the dynamic.
I wonder, I think it ends with the European Union saying the United States can have 2 or 3 bases here. They quit pounding their chest over it.
And I think, to be honest with you, completely honest,
that's what he wants.
That's exactly what he wants.
And I think that's a good deal for Greenland.
Absolutely,
we spend money. Naval. What were you?
I was an operations specialist.
Yeah, he was out. He'd be in Greenland spending money.
Yeah, so just like I was in Bahrain, just like I was in Curacao.
I bet that was a good gig.
It was.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was a good experience.
Didn't have to worry about the cold weather there.
When people say thank you for your service, when you were there, you're like, I feel like I stole something.
Yeah, I feel like I actually owe you a thank you. Because this is awesome.
I think that's what he wants.
I do too. I don't think many people see that.
That's to me, that's the asymmetrical, like 3-dimensional chess game that Trump plays.
Absolutely. Ben Burnett, that's exactly right. People don't see it. They see chaos. And that's what he wants. Because if he says, I'm going to get Greenland, and then they come in, we're sending a dog sled over there to hold off the Americans. Get the hell out of here.
I know.
We're going to send NATO. We fund NATO. What are you talking about?
Well, and that's the thing. I said it on the weekend show. Europe has a really tough time fighting actual conflicts against people that don't like them, let alone people that do.
Yeah, that's the thing. The
so
European
now
Union,
they get tough?
Yeah, they've let their military fall into disarray, crumbling, and they've been an embarrassment.
If it was like a limited casualty thing, I was very surprised there were no repercussions with Venezuela, to be honest with you.
Meaning no loss of life as far as troops?
Yeah, and what have you heard out of China and Russia besides you shouldn't do that?
They can't. They can't do a thing.
And I think if there is the same type of thing to get rid of the Ayatollah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So you're taking Iran
which has
over Greenland.
It has the biggest downside by a lot.
Which one?
Iran.
Bad.
Like, if that doesn't go well, and people actually came to their defense that don't like us, that could be a massive catastrophic loss of life.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, dude. Just like they didn't in Venezuela.
And that, you know, we don't necessarily have the capability to go fight a massive multi-front war.
No, I agree.
But we got a lot better odds than plenty of them fools.
You're right. Absolutely. And the Chinese...
We play to the Nick Saban standard.
Yes, right. By golly. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And look, as a full-fledged Georgia Bulldog, there's not a greater coach ever than Nick Saban, and Alabama's the crown jewel of college football. So when you say that, I agree.
That's the standard.
That's the standard.
That's the United States military standard.
And that's one that a Southern boy can get. That's one a Southern boy understands. You tell me the Nick Saban standard, that's where we want to be?
I got it.
By God, that's where I want to be, because I agree with all that. I think we want bases. So if we're choosing, I think we want bases in Greenland, more bases than Thule Air Force Base and whatever the new name is with the space, is a space base now. Space Camp, I think is what they call it. Something like that. So we kind of check the box there.
Well, I can't imagine that more than 3% of that subcontinent is inhabited. Like, that should be a pretty easy lift.
There wouldn't be a lift. There wouldn't be a shot fired. There wouldn't need to be a shot fired. You would just plant your flag and say, it's ours now. And nobody could do anything. Nobody could do anything.
I don't understand, though, like Western Europe, I think it has changed. I have not been in a decade, and I love to travel, and I love Western Europe. But everything I hear is that it feels a lot different than it used to with mass migrations and so forth.
Yeah, and arresting people for putting memes on the internet. Yeah, that feels very authoritarian.
And these people want to be, like, if they want to be mad at us, this is the part that I am, like, as mean as they come. With NATO and the UN, I might just send in my letters by the end of the week and be like, we're out.
Dude, how long have I been saying this?
We're out.
I have. Ben Burnett has come to my side. This may be the first time ever.
I've always liked NATO.
I don't.
I don't hate it. I don't trust the UN's total. If Russia can accuse us of human rights violations, give me a break.
Ignorant. Get them out of New York. That real estate will make fine property for somebody.
Yeah.
We'll
get a hedge fund or a private equity building.
Somebody will build something. Get us out of the UN. Get the UN out of the United States. Get us out of NATO. I want out of all of it. I have said this for my entire life.
Why do you hate NATO?
Because what do they provide? We fund everything. We do everything. They do nothing. They suck up our dollars. That's why I hate it.
I love that Rand Paul, like when North Macedonia came up for a vote, and he was like, no, I'm like, because it requires Senate to so that the U.S. can approve. He was like, we don't know anything about that place. Like, I don't care if they're in or out. I'm not, you're asking me to risk American lives over them?
Not
and they may be great people.
Maybe. I ain't risking American lives for anybody anymore. That's the thing that I think Donald Trump gets the most right. People are so tired of American young men and women dying far, far away from the United States with what seems like zero of U.S. interests at heart. Sick of it.
I think Israel is going to be the one to get rid of the Ayatollah.
Right, and let them do it. Let them do it. Like, we can just sit back and go get them. Have at it.
But it might hurt America. You got to be ready.
But that's the thing. Americans are going to have to get used to a little pain. Dude, we don't get this country back in shape. And I mean like an exercise. We don't get back in shape without it.
It'd be a great message to send in that part of the world.
Yeah, it would. Oh, Ben Burnett, come. I love it. I would have never in a million years thought Ben Burnett be on my side.
I'm nervous about it.
Why?
Dude, when people start dying and coming home in American flags, if that's going to be the case.
Oh, are you talking about leaving NATO?
No. I
was talking about the Iranian thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't want boots on the ground there.
Yeah, but I don't know that you can get rid of a regime without it.
They've got to want it too.
I think they do.
Okay, well,
I just don't know that they're organized.
You can support them.
Regime change, Tug. Welcome back to the before Make America Great Again. Trump's going to colonize the whole thing.
My thing is let them do it. Support them with special forces, but support them however we need to support them. No American boots on the ground. None. Zero American boots on the ground.
That may not be your choice.
It might not. Might not. When we continue on Extra 1063, going to play you a piece of audio on why the Democrats cannot win. They cannot win the midterms. Republicans have to win it. And I'll prove it to you next.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for January 19th. The Atlanta Falcons have found their guy as the team announced they have hired former Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski to a 5-year deal. This comes after the Dirty Birds hired Matt Ryan as the president of football operations, and the team now shifts their focus to fill their vacancy at the general manager position. Also in the NFL, another round of playoffs concluded over the weekend. The Denver Broncos defeated the Buffalo Bills in an overtime thriller 33-30 on Saturday. They lost starting quarterback Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks easily handled the San Francisco 49ers 41-6 to move Seattle one step closer to a Super Bowl return. And yesterday, the Patriots took care of business over the Houston Texans 28-16, and the Los Angeles Rams took down the Chicago Bears in overtime last night 20-17. In the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks fell to the Boston Celtics over the weekend 132-106. We'll be back in action today against the Milwaukee Bucks. With your sports headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Christmas is over, so why not get what you really wanted? Jaron Solomon here, and now is the time to treat yourself to the perfect piece at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, because you deserve it. Or maybe your New Year's resolution is to make someone else's dream come true with the perfect engagement ring. Or Valentine's Day with a gift that says it all. No matter what you are shopping for, we have 3 Atlanta locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, and endless ways to celebrate you and the ones you love. Don't forget to head to the website at SolomonBrothers.com to check out the clearance page to get the absolute best deals on the styles we simply bought too much of for 2025. And with our low price guarantee and flexible financing, luxury has never been more accessible. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, helping Atlanta say I do since 1982.
Don't believe this nonsense you see on TV commercials about how uncomfortable a CPAP mask is. Take it from me. You wear one, especially the nasal pillow I use, for one night, and you will fight anybody that tries to take it away from you. But if they do take it away from you, you can get more at cpapsetcetera.com, cpapsetc.com. With a store in Alpharetta, same-day shipping. To your health, cpapsetc.com.
Braves country, pack your bags. It's time to hit the road. Join Braves Vacations for the ultimate fan getaway in 2026. 2 epic trips, 2 legendary ballparks, and 1 unforgettable adventure. Cheer on the Braves at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati and enjoy a trip to Churchill Downs. Or feel the roar of Yankee Stadium in the Big Apple. Each travel package is loaded with unique experiences, special activities, and hand-picked accommodations. Don't just watch baseball, live it. Head to Braves.com/vacations to lock in your spot today.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, on a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%, or really it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
It's the hardest working part of your home, your garage door. When it fails, you need someone you can trust. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. When the largest and most important opening of your home breaks, don't hire a schmo. Call the local name you know, All Four Seasons. Ask your neighbors. We offer upfront pricing, free estimates on all major brands, and 24/7 service. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Hair volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. New Nordic is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
It'd be interesting how long that phrase stays in society.
Write a check.
Writing checks.
Yeah.
There hasn't come along something to replace it yet.
Yeah,
no
write
one
a
writes
check.
checks anymore.
My mom would always write checks at the grocery store.
Oh,
like
my
she was that
God.
one
I hate
lady.
people like that. Oh, my God.
I think I'll write you a check.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
This is the Morning Extra. Tug and Los typically until 10. Los out and taking advantage of the ML King holiday, and his daughters are playing volleyball. So they've been running the roads. I'm sure you've probably done some of that over the years before and understand exactly where it's coming from. But because of that, hey, it's Tug, Ben Burnett, former Alpharetta City Councilman and host of the Ben Burnett Show, Saturdays at 2, Sundays at noon here on Extra 106.3, sits in with me. And earlier had Greg Dolezal, great conversation. Yeah, and that is Ben. That's right. Had great conversations about all the things that are happening down under the Gold Dome and why lobbyists seem to hate him.
Why do lobbyists hate you?
Yeah, that was the...
If I was going to be asked a question as a candidate, I'd be like, you know what? Can we feed some red meat to the base?
Yeah, that's right.
the one I would want.
Yeah, give it to me.
What are the special interest dollars? I'll just dislike you like they do.
Yeah. So look for that on the Extra YouTube channel, across Extra social media at Extra 106.3. You can find me at Tug Cowards and at The Ben Burnett Show on Instagram.
Yes.
There you go.
Correct.
So easy to find Ben there if you're looking for him. Here's the reason that we cannot lose these midterms. And I've been, I guess, optimistic. Maybe I should say cautiously optimistic, because people can do dumb things. And a lot of people doing dumb things at once can happen in the midterms. But I feel pretty good about it. But here's the reason I think that we cannot lose the midterms. You have to get out and vote. You have to encourage people that are like-minded to get out and vote. You have to do whatever it takes to make sure that this country is salvaged. Because if we go back to what they were doing a year ago, the Republic is doomed. Listen to what Jennifer Welch and some of the Democrats say they want to do as soon as they are reelected.
Blue tsunami means that Congress is going to haul Elon Musk, big balls, and a bunch of other people's ass in front and say, what crimes did you commit? And it's going to get really serious. And the same with Trump, because I believe, and this is just my opinion, that Trump and all of the bottom-feeding morons surrounding him, and Elon Musk and all the bottom-feeding Klingeroners that surround him, I think they commit crimes every day. And I think to reconcile all of this is going to take hardcore, not integrity Democrats. F*** you Democrats. F*** you for f***ing over our country. We are serious about this. We are prosecuting. We're going to uncover every document, every phone call, everything you did. We will be relentless about it. And that's the mindset they've got to have, because I think the electorate is going from, we've got to get him out, but also we want accountability.
So the blue tsunami is anything that we think you did wrong, we're going to dig until we find it. We will match the crime with your name. We've done it before. We'll do it again. She talked about the criminal hangers-on. She talked about them the Trump administration breaking the law every day. Notice she didn't bring up the Biden administration. She didn't bring up any of that, weaponizing the federal government and shell companies and Burisma, Hunter Biden saying, if I hadn't been the president's son, I probably wouldn't have been put on that board. He finally admitted that in a podcast. None of that. She didn't bring any of that up. That's fine.
Did you listen to that?
I listened to a lot of it, yeah. It was hard because he's an idiot. And I was disappointed in Sean Ryan, too.
For having
him. No, not for having him. For softballing the whole thing.
I mean, I do softballs too. But
that's not who you are as a Navy SEAL. That's not what you were supposed to be.
Well, maybe that's the only way you're trying to loss leader him into more guests from the left. I actually thought the fact that you got Hunter Biden to say anything derogatory about the Democrat Party was kind of like
Why? Why would you think that?
Well,
look what they did to his dad.
Well, and look what they did to him.
And the Democrats stood by. They stabbed Joe Biden in the back, and I'm no Joe Biden fan.
No.
But I'm not blind to the fact that they stabbed that man in the back.
He walked the plank.
Yes, he did. and
didn't know where he was,
and had no idea what was going on. And there were sharks circling underneath the plank that they pushed him off on.
Man, they had no plan.
They had zero plan. They had no plan. And Los said it, and I wasn't sure when he first said it, but the further away we get from this, I believe it. They had Joe Biden, whomever had his ear, Jill or Hunter, one of them, or both, told him, you go out there and say Kamala Harris is going to be great, because they knew Kamala couldn't win.
I definitely think there was a big resentment factor. Like, never mind the fact that he wasn't well.
No, of course. And then they pretended that he was.
And that was not right.
Of course it wasn't.
If the right thing to do for the country, you can't send somebody. And look, if you like Donald Trump or you don't like Donald Trump or you like Joe Biden or you don't like him, you represent my interests as an American citizen abroad, and over anything else, over bad policy, over anything else, that is the thing where you represent 350 million of us.
And he didn't.
And he couldn't.
And the Democrat Party has no interest in doing it.
And I was because we knew it.
Everybody knew it. Jake Tabor's the only one that didn't know. Because do you remember what Jake said?
I could only trust what
that's what they told me. Yeah, you couldn't use your own common sense.
I know
but he sure made a lot of money off a book.
When they get righteous on CNN and in the media, earlier today we played like pick your mainstream news outlet. You got to pick one. Tug like CBS.
Only because they're shaking it up, and they hate the fact that it's being shaken up. So that's the only reason I choose CBS.
And I just don't. But it is what's so scary is that even on our side, what can you honestly read and listen and be like, this is truthful? There's not much.
Not
dude.
much.
When we send articles back and forth about what we're going to talk about today, I'm like, how much of this is like holds up?
Yeah, I very little, I would think. That's why I like independent journalists. I do. And I know there's not a lot of money to be made there.
No.
And that's, I think, why I like it. Because they're not there for the money. They're there to get to the truth. I believe Catherine Herridge. When she reports something, I usually believe what she has uncovered or is talking about, because I believe it's to her the best of her ability to fact check it and make sure it's right.
Well, it's the only reason why the people in this world that I trust are the ones willing to speak out against their own party at certain points.
Yes.
And that's why we have this, like, we talk about Fetterman every other hour.
Well, but if you look, the only thing with Fetterman is he says the right thing. He votes.
He votes left.
Left.
But he's like, would you authorize the use of force for the military in Venezuela? Yeah.
Yeah. It was the right thing to do. Yeah.
But they don't like him over the 3%, dude.
Dude, they will. They're going to probably primary that dude. It would surprise me 0%. When we come back on Extra 1063, are Georgia's elections secure? Because I tend to think the answer is no. I bet you'll agree. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 1063.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 1063.
Well, I'm going to have fun with this commentary. It's about AI, ChatGPT. Over the last couple of days, I have solved some great mysteries by just asking questions on AI. Number one, I like hot and sour soup when I go to P.F. Chang's, but the smell always reminds me of a barnyard. Why? I asked AI. AI acknowledged, yes, hot and sour soup does smell like a farm, a barn. The reason? White pepper. White pepper is used in hot and sour soup. And as it mixes with the other ingredients, it produces a smell comparable to a farmyard. Number two, I hate seafood. I learned some time ago that I have unusually dense taste buds. I am a super taster. And yes, AI informs me that super tasters, people with an unusually high number of taste buds, don't like seafood. And they don't like broccoli, check. And they don't like Brussels sprouts, check. So I came by my no seafood rule, honestly. And the last one, pickup truck drivers. I wanted to know if they were, as I suspected, some of the worst drivers on the road. I'll quote, multiple traffic safety and insurance analysis have found that pickup trucks are overrepresented in certain aggressive and high-risk driving behaviors, including tailgating, speeding, failure to yield, road rage, and serious injury crashes. Why is that? Higher ride height and mass can create a sense of control or intimidation, and pickup truck drivers feel more protected so they can use less caution. Who's at fault here? Younger and middle-aged men. Quote, pickup trucks are disproportionately involved in aggressive driving behaviors. AI, it's a lot of fun. And it will confirm that talk show hosts generally know more than the dumb masses. Don't say that fast. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Atlanta legends are only on Extra 106.3 with the one and only Kimmer on your ride home every afternoon.
If you're talking mayors and governors of a state, looking you in the eye through the TV camera and lying because they want to keep power and they don't care about truth or justice. And these are the same people that would put you and me and anyone who thinks like us in camps or worse. Because if they can do that to an ICE agent, what are they going to do to you, John Q. Public?
It's the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
This is House Call for Health. January is National Radon Action Month. It was designated by the Environmental Protection Agency to raise awareness about radon, a colorless, odorless gas. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it, but at dangerous levels, it can cause serious issues. It's the leading cause of lung cancer among non-smokers in America, claiming around 21,000 lives in the U.S. every year. The EPA says you can get your home tested. It's easy and inexpensive with a test kit. The American Lung Association also suggests testing for radon before buying a home. Potential home buyers can ask if a home has been tested and whether there were elevated levels of radon. If no tests have been performed recently, they should be done every 2 to 5 years. You can ask the seller to test and pay for a fix if needed. Many newly built homes are now constructed with radon prevention in mind. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
World peace is at stake. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump insists in his push for the U.S. to take control of Greenland. Posting on Truth Social, China and Russia want the territory that Denmark now controls. And he's threatening to punish some European allies who oppose him, including Britain's Prime Minister.
Keir Starmer says the world has become more turbulent in recent weeks and a trade war is in no one's interest. President Trump's announced 8 countries who oppose his attempts to take over Greenland will face extra tariffs. That includes the UK.
The use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
Prime Minister Starmer says the security of Greenland matters and more should be done about it, but the island's future must be in the hands of Greenlanders and Danes.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage in London. President Trump also calling for a leadership change in Iran after the Supreme Leader called him a criminal, accusing the U.S. of stoking anti-regime protests that were stopped with a deadly crackdown.
Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian warned that any aggression against the Supreme Leader would be considered an all-out war. As the country's leadership is discussing more about the protests, new video provided to Fox News by a source in Tehran shows Iranians gathered outside of a morgue demanding answers about their loved ones. The Iranian regime is now admitting at least 5,000 people were killed during these demonstrations. The true number is likely much higher.
Fox's Trey Yingst. The anti-ICE protests rage on in Minnesota. This one inside a St. Paul church where they chanted the name Renee Good, the woman killed in a confrontation with immigration enforcement. They claim a pastor at the church has ties to ICE.
The FBI and the DOJ Civil Rights Division are investigating. Attorney General Pam Bondi writing on X, I just spoke to the pastor in Minnesota whose church was targeted. Attacks against law enforcement and the intimidation of Christians are being met with the full force of federal law.
That's Fox's Matt Finn in Minneapolis. In Spain, it's up to 39 people killed when a high-speed train went off the tracks and collided with another going the other way. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able to honor Scott with a mortgage-free smart home. Please join us supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If you can donate $11 a month, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Hey, it's your old pal Neil Bortz. I'm back on Atlanta's only conservative news talk station, Extra 106.3. Okay, here's more of the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Front office Los out with his daughters playing volleyball. They're in a big tournament here in town, Georgia World Congress Center. So he is enjoying the day off, the ML King holiday. And Ben Burnett and I, hey, it's Tug. Ben Burnett and I here on the Morning Extra. You can hear Ben's show, The Ben Burnett Show. Saturdays at 2, Sundays at noon. And Ben, for his background, a former Alpharetta city councilman, and just an all-around good guy.
And becoming semi-regular as you guys increase the amount of vacation time you all take.
I know, no kidding. Especially lately.
I want to point this out because I feel like this is the right time.
Okay.
So I was in here by myself on December 26th.
Day after Christmas, I remember.
Which is Kwanzaa, Tug. It's Kwanzaa.
Got it.
And now I'm in here on MLK Day.
Mm.
And if you guys stick me on Juneteenth...
Yeah, you're going to see a trend.
I'm gonna start asking questions.
Yeah, understandable. I get it. I don't expect that's gonna be the case.
Throw in some Pacific Islander Appreciation Month and let's even this thing out.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough. Because you spent some time over there in the Pacific Islands.
I do. I will celebrate Pacific Islander year.
That's right. They do it right over there. I've never been, but I hear they do it right. I'm going to tell you the one thing that will be the big story of the day here on Extra 106.3.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Extra, Tug so bold.
I don't know about bold, but it is the first thing you need to know about the biggest story of the day is the ICE rioters, the people that disturbed the church in Minneapolis. I can tolerate a lot of things. I cannot tolerate what happened to that church and how disgusting it was for Don Lemon, disgraced journalist, disgraced reporter, kicked to the curb by CNN years ago. And he went in with these protesters into this church and cornered the pastor. And he told the pastor, no, we have the right to do this. And the pastor says, no, you don't. No, you don't. And he's exactly right. The pastor is right. Surprise, surprise, Don Lemon was wrong. He does not have, those protesters do not have the right to disturb that service.
A religious service.
A religious service, absolutely right. And when people ask you, how do you know that? It's the FACE Act. It is the Freedom of Access Act. And it specifically points out religious freedom, similar obstructions or property damages at place of religious worship, damaging property. All of those fall under the FACE Act.
Federal law.
Federal law, yes.
Which means it got 60 votes in the Senate in the 90s. Who was the Democrat elected president that agreed with the FACE Act?
Bill Clinton.
Didn't seem controversial.
No, it didn't. It did not seem controversial at the time, and it should not seem controversial now. And I want to read you.
Tug, it's not controversial.
I know it's not. But only the mainstream media presents it as controversial. This is very straightforward. And I think conservatives and independents alike look at this and go, this is not the America that I grew up in. This is not the America that I want to live in. You have those on the left.
Let it happen.
They encourage it. That's the difference. They encourage it. Not only do they want it to happen, they encourage it to happen.
You in a midterm election issue where Republicans are like, well, we've had this bag for 2 years. And everybody wants to talk about affordability, and maybe it's more affordable, maybe it's not.
In some places it is, some places it's not.
And that's kind of the way it's. If you print $7 trillion, guess what ain't going back to the old days?
The budget. Yeah. Now, it needs to. It should. And I'm going to be pissed that it ain't.
But let me tell you, if Republicans want to maintain control, I don't care what you do in Iran. I don't care what you do in Greenland. I don't really care what you do in Venezuela. Quit talking about it all the time. Shut up. Give it 30 days and let these people sit here and infiltrate church services on Sunday. And you, like in the 2024 election cycle, as a Republican, you won't have to do a thing.
Because everything will be there for people to choose from.
Everybody.
Do you want this? Or do you want what we're doing?
Our platform in 2026 can be, we're not them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not harder than that.
No. But the thing is, my sweet Aunt Peg, I bring her up a lot on the show. She still doesn't know. She thinks this is the Democrat Party that she grew up with, and it's not.
No.
In 2012, when the Democrat Socialist of America said our goal is to infiltrate and take over the Democrat Party, that's our goal. That's what we're going to do. And in 2026, they have. It's done.
I saw Chuck Schumer at some APAC conference over the weekend talking about his love and trust of Israel and how they're a united partner with America. And there were Republicans there, too, on the speaker tour.
Yep.
Senator Schumer, that is not the party that you belong to any longer.
Do you think he knows? Because I think he knows.
Oh, he does. Of course, he's a lot of things that we disagree with, but he ain't dumb.
He's not dumb.
He's not dumb. He knows where he's going.
Of course he does.
He don't like that wing of the party either, though. And Chuck's a lefty.
Dude, and he's got no choice because that wing of the party is pulling everybody over. And they're daring.
They got the media attention.
Yeah, they do. And they're daring the rest of the Democrat Party to say we don't want to go that far left because they will brand them as everything that they'll brand them as just like they brand anybody that believes in conservative values.
The only reason that Senator Schumer would survive something like that is that he's the conduit to all the corporate money that exists within the left-leaning politics. He's got it. He's got that on lock.
Listen to what Chuck Schumer said about the DOJ cuts. All the stuff that we've cut out, all the things that we've rolled back. This is what he said he would do to all of those things that are very popular with me. And I would assume are you?
Yeah, I'm pro-Doge.
Yeah, me too.
We should have codified it through Congress. Another missed opportunity.
Complete swing and miss. And here's why. Because Chuck Schumer says this about the Doge cuts and things like them.
If you look at the budget actually we're working on right now, and we'll have the T-HUD budget, transportation and HUD budget, we restore most of the cuts and even go higher than previous years on many of the programs that Doge slashed. When I met our nominee for HUD secretary, then he was nominee, talked a nice game, but he doesn't seem to have the clout to make those views prevail over the Doge people, over the cut people. But we have worked really hard in the budget and gotten bipartisan support to increase these amounts and undo a lot of the cuts, which are essential.
I don't want any of that.
Uniparty.
Dude, you beat me to it. Freaking uniparty. That's exactly what it is. Those Republicans that agree with it. And there's plenty of them up there. Plenty of Republicans that can share the blame in the things that are happening in D.C. and allowing some of the crap that's happening in Minneapolis even. They're sitting back. They're sitting on their hands. They're not doing anything. Is it because they hate Donald Trump? I don't know. But I know they don't love the country more than they hate Donald Trump. I can tell you that for sure.
It is designed to move very slow. The whole appropriations and congressional process. Sure. And that is not all a bad thing. But as we talk about affordability, and you think you hear about it a lot now, you ain't heard about it at all yet.
Yeah, it's about to ramp up. It's about to ramp up. Yep.
There is nothing, and this is what no politician will sit here and be honest with you about. I'm talking to the Georgia Bankers Association next week. And until Congress learns to behave with how they treat federal spending and the deficit and to rein it in, you're not going to see inflation go back to the 2014 through 2020 metric. And that's what's driving a lot of the things more expensive. You can't print $7 trillion and expect for everything to feel like it felt. It's devalued the dollars in your pocket. Of course. Travel overseas, man. It is not as good to be an American as it was 5 years ago. It's still better than anywhere else.
Sure.
But man, you want to talk about a missed opportunity. And it kills. You guys talk about it all the time. Like the one criticism you can lay at Donald Trump's feet is he ain't fiscally minded.
Ever, and never has been. He's not a fiscal conservative. He's a populist. Like, you have to understand the difference. And I separate those. Like, some people ask me, like, do you really love Donald Trump? I was like, no, I don't love Donald Trump. Do I like him? Yes. Do I think he loves America the way I love America? I absolutely do. Do I think he's the right man for the job right now? Yes, I do.
Does he spend too much money?
Yes, he does.
By a mile.
Absolutely. Now, I know and I understand and can see where, in his mind, if we have all these tariffs, if we have all this money coming in, right, and we get this economy up and running, people will forget about the deficit all of a sudden because we'll have more money to pay. It won't matter. Yeah, it won't matter. That's his angle on it.
And there can be no other angle on it but that one. The thing that does kind of make me nervous about it, like looking in the long term, is that if you had somebody that all of a sudden said, we're getting rid of all these tariffs and we're going back to whatever levels and the budget is not under control, America's going to be a freaking mess.
Yeah, it is.
And I promise you guys, that is what is coming. That's the fear I have. You think your dollar's devalued over the last couple of years. You ain't seen nothing.
Yeah. Things have to be done correctly. And that's the issue that I take with Donald Trump. That's one of the only.
He should have done both.
Yes, absolutely right.
And the thing about Elon that I loved was that he got in the ditch, man, and he was like, these systems are so broken that we just spend money. We don't even know where it comes from or where it goes or whatever.
And it's good to know that.
And it was, he didn't unveil a massive secret to the American people, but he was kind of the guy who said it out loud.
When nobody else would.
Yeah, but like, what have they done to codify plenty of that? Oh, it's such
nothing. Well, I mean, you already heard Chuck Schumer. He's like, we got people waiting in the wings to put it all back together. USAID, when we're sending billions to the craziest places on earth that will eventually, in my opinion, get cycled back and laundered back to the Democrat Party. Why do you think the Democrat Party, for so many years, had so many billions of dollars in the bank and they had a war chest like nobody had ever seen before? Because it was taxpayer dollars.
It just got siphoned back to you a little bit at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
God, like, talk about a money laundering scheme.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, yes. And I believe all that fraud that you're seeing in Minnesota, and it is happening in 50 states, I believe. 50 states are doing the same thing. Scott Bessent says 10% of our federal budget is fraud, waste, and abuse, and I believe him. All that stuff goes to wherever it needs to go to pad the pockets of whoever they want padded, and then it gets kicked back to the Democrat Party again. That's why they're fighting so hard against figuring out what's happened in Minnesota. And that's why they're allowing these riots to go uncontrolled and even pouring gas on the fire with with Jacob Fry, the mayor, and Walz, the governor.
How do these guys not know better?
Of course they know better. What do you mean, how can they not know? They know.
It is just the fact that when you, let's say you do know. Like that, I
believe they do.
I think they knew some of it.
I think they knew a lot of it.
I don't think anybody could have known all of it.
I'll give it. I'll yield on that. But
how on earth, when it starts to bubble, like, where's the closed door meeting? It was like, all right, they're about to find out, what are we going to do? And they didn't do anything other than say, I'm not seeking re-election. Like, dude, go fix it.
It has no desire to fix it. That's what's paying for everybody's campaigns. I believe
the
that.
Leering Centers?
Yeah, the Leering Centers. All $8 billion going to the Leering Center that ends up in some Somalis' pockets.
I need a Leering Center.
I know. Ends up in Mogadishu and then ultimately ends back up in the Democrat pockets, in the Democrat coffers to pay for war. There's a reason now, all of a sudden, the Democrats can't raise money. All of a sudden, they're paying for campaigns on credit cards. USAID's gone. We're cracking down on the Leering Centers. Is it just me that notices that?
No, I mean, it is. I am grateful for what has taken place. I am just fearful that it is not permanent enough.
It is not permanent enough. You're exactly right, and your fear is good. Your fear is, I think, in solid thinking, because Chuck Schumer just told you what they're going to do.
We're going to put it all back.
Put every bit of it back. And that's why I can't imagine that we're going to lose the midterms. I can't imagine how anybody in America...
I'll tell you the only thing you need to know about the midterm elections with independent voters is that if you see Donald Trump's approval rating go below 45, we're in huge trouble. And I would look at the Fox News poll, because when they start sounding the alarm as the state-run media of the administration, you'll know it's bad. But I'll tell you, that's the number that the Republicans couldn't recover from. And if it's anywhere near that, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
He's got to get to work. And that's why I say you ought to just shut up and get to work.
Absolutely. Don't tell people what you're doing. Just do it and show them later.
Hey, guys, Greenland's ours.
Yep.
Surprise.
Yep, that's right. We worked out the deal.
We got the moon and
that's right.
And Greenland. 2 for 1.
That's exactly right. What was the cartoon?
It's the biggest moon.
Despicable Me. We're going to get the moon.
We're going to steal the moon.
That's right, exactly. We're going to do that too. No, I think you're right about that. Stop talking so much. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
No.
I'm just saying save yourself the heartache and the heartburn of dealing with the mainstream media who are going to crucify you no matter what you do.
Marco and JD, I need you guys to actually tell me what we have to do. You know, what does it look like? Where do we have to go? I think those are the two really, really smart guys who understand politics. I do have a question for you.
Yep.
Where is Tulsi Gabbard?
She's been quiet lately.
God bless, hadn't she?
Yeah, she's been. I did see her maybe a couple weeks ago. I can't even remember what she was talking about.
She was doing yoga by my beloved Moke's Islands in Hawaii on January 1st, and she took a yoga picture. I was like, well, that tells me you're not. They don't really care.
You're not working quite as hard as everybody else.
Tulsi, we're going to need you to sit this one out. I know you don't like regime change. Take 60 days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. 5 days ago, she was. She at least had a social media post. Objective truth and the expression of truth must be a basis of society's laws and norms. Today, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments on the foundational truth, biological distinction, male and female. That was last week.
Well, that's good for the office of OD&I. They don't care much about whatever she thought.
Yeah. I don't know where she is. She's been quiet. But you know what? I can't keep up with what everybody in the administration is doing. I try as best I can. I care about what Trump's doing. I care what Vance is doing. I care what Rubio's doing. Those are the power players.
2 of the 3 really know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, one of them is the guy who they put in the microphone on Air Force One and just ask him whatever.
Just fire away.
Yeah, I did see he was going to sign an executive order if they expanded the playoffs so that no other game could take place the day of Army-Navy. I was like, glad we're doing the heavy hitting, Mr.
Right,
President.
Absolutely. I love Army-Navy as much as anybody. I don't care if they play other games on that day. I just don't care. There's just nothing about that resonates with me.
So good.
As the communists and the socialists in the Democrat Party tries to literally overthrow the United States of America and the way we live and the things that we hold dear. You're going to start seeing the things that bubble up. You're going to start seeing the things that are happening in Minnesota, bubbling up in New York City. Mom Donnie already has street agitators that they are organizing to start that as soon as possible, I assume.
So good.
That part ain't good. Because this is it's like a quiet revolution.
It's not good.
That's not good. But that's what's happening in your country. And that's why we cannot lose the midterms. We can't, man. We cannot lose the midterms. I think it's that important. When we come back on Extra 106.3, by the numbers, who supports the deportations? You know conservatives do. Where does everybody else fall? I'll tell you when we go by the numbers. Next on Extra 106.3.
The Morning Morning Xtra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And The Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
Remember when you were growing up and the highlight of your school fair was to dunk the principal? Well, that's what we're hoping to do here. Dunk our boss. It's the 2026 Polar Plunge to support Special Olympics Georgia, and we need your help. From now until February 15th, just go to SpecialOlympicsGA.org and make a donation on behalf of 680 The Fan. If we can raise $2,680 or more, we'll be taking the plunge and taking our boss Andy with us to Ackworth Beach February 21st. Donate now at SpecialOlympicsGA.org and click on the plunge and support Team 680.
So maybe you've been thinking about it, but maybe you've got the question wrong. For a lot of drivers, the question has been, should I go electric? Maybe the question is supposed to be, does it make sense for me? And right now with the new 2026 Toyota BZ, it's built to fit real life. And with an estimated 314-mile all-electric driving range, quick response, and we're talking 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, and a quiet, comfortable ride, charge-at-home capabilities where you skip unnecessary stops, and you enjoy the drive. When you purchase at Marietta Toyota, you're buying from a dealership that's been part of the community since 1975. 3+ generations of car buyers who have realized Marietta Toyota does it better. Customer service beyond the sale is what they do. With the people in the service support to stand behind what you buy day in and day out. Right now, Marietta Toyota, 0% APR for 72 months, plus $3,500 bonus cash on a new 2026 BZ. Visit us on Cop Parkway South. Marietta Toyota. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
0% APR for 72 months equals $1,389 for $1,000 finance with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. $3,500 bonus APR cash from SCTF requires financing with SCTF. Applied as a down payment. No cash back. Offer ends 2/2/26.
How about a simple New Year's resolution? One that even I was able to achieve. Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You're going to feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look into that mirror, and you need to know what it feels like. And now, from Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment to their highly experienced team, they are the team that I personally recommend and trust in hair restoration. Did I mention your new hair is guaranteed to grow and can grow for life? How about celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 872-217-HAIR. Again, that's 872-217-HAIR. Discover what meeting your resolution can look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
All righty, new year, clean slate, and if one of those resolutions is to finally fix those ugly, drafty windows, well, it's a Kimmer with your solution. I've been talking about Peach State Windows for years because I know the owner, Jeff, personally. Jeff and his wife been friends for like 25 years. Family-owned company, been doing Georgia business for homeowners for something like 50 years. Here's the deal now, listen up, because this it's real, continues into the new year right now. You get 8 premium double-hung Energy Star replacement windows fully installed for just $39.95. That's 8 windows installed for under $4,000. These windows are beauties, built for Georgia heat, storms, humidity. Jeff knows homes and construction codes. Get it right the first time. PeachStateWindows.com for details. That's PeachStateWindows.com. Here's the number, 770-485-8011. Hey, how about this? 0% financing for up to 12 months. Peach State Windows, 770-485-8011. Make the uglies go away. PeachStateWindows.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, January 19th, and here are your headlines. Former DeKalb County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton is facing felony charges, including aggravated assault by strangulation and cruelty to children following a domestic incident in Stone Mountain. Police say children were present during the alleged assault, leading to a third-degree child cruelty charge, and Horton was booked into the DeKalb County Jail without bond. Horton resigned from the district last fall after a separate federal indictment in Illinois tied to an alleged kickback scheme from a previous superintendent job. Atlanta leaders and volunteers volunteers gathered for the beloved Community Cleanup Day hosted by District 11 Councilmember Wayne Martin in Southwest Atlanta. More than 125 volunteers cleaned up litter across 20 streets in 5 neighborhoods, working alongside students, faith groups, and residents. Organizers say the event honored Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy while strengthening community pride and neighborhood connection. And finally, 2 Kennesaw State basketball players are facing federal charges in an alleged game fixing and illegal sports betting scheme. Prosecutors say the players accepted bribes to influence their performance during a March 2024 game as part of a wider national investigation. KSU has suspended those involved, and authorities say that the case highlights growing concerns tied to legalized sports betting. Today's weather is sunny with a high of 46 and a low of 24. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. Los is out today. Ben Burnett in. You can catch his show Saturdays at 2, Sundays at noon here on Extra 106.3. So,
thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's always a pleasure. We always have great discussions, and if you missed any of that,
do we?
I feel like we do. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about this. But if you missed any of it, go back and listen to it on the Extra 106.3 app. It will be available for you there, and it's free. The app is just download it, Apple or Android, and when you do that, listen to something that entertains you and share it with someone else. That's how we grow this radio station. There's not many people and many radio stations that are saying the things that we say. And I don't mean that in an inflammatory way. I just mean telling you the truth, cutting to the crux of the matter. We are laying it on the line. Some people won't like it, and that's okay. But somebody has to be brave enough to say it, and that's what we're doing on Extra. So thank you for listening this morning. And like I said, download the app and share it with someone you think that will enjoy it as well. Let's run the numbers.
But I'll be alright as long as there's light from a math dude.
The math dude usually
Most
lows.
people don't like math, they run from the sun.
That's what we don't do on Extra 106. We're not running from the sun. We're letting you know the way it is. We're telling you the truth. And I want to share with you by the numbers who is agreeing with Trump when it comes to finding and deporting illegal immigrants that are here in the United States, and they're not supposed to be. Rasmussen is reporting 62% of all voters are in favor. 62%.
Sizable.
It's a pretty good number. And I got to tell you, I believe that number's right. Because you've not seen any shift in the polling, and you can take it from Rasmussen, you can take it from a lot of different places. But the polling's been pretty strong, and it's stayed pretty strong.
Say that one more time.
62% of all voters agree with Trump's program to find and deport illegal immigrants in the United States.
Also, some breaking news from the
62%. The breakdown, men and women, 65 men, women are 59. If you want to go in the age groups, 18 to 39, 57%, 40 to 54, 66%, 65 plus is at 59%. You want to break it down by race. Whites are at 60%. Blacks are at 59%. Hispanics, 63%.
Some breaking news from the NFL also today. The Buffalo Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott after the Bills have never made it to the Super Bowl under his tenure. They only made it to the wild card
votes.
Yeah,
we want to stay.
This comes after losing in the wild card round to the Denver Broncos.
The ones that they need because they left the working class behind.
This comes after losing the wild. This comes in losing.
It'll be fine.
That's what they've been asked. That's what Nancy Pelosi said she wants to do.
This marks the 10th head coach this season in the NFL to be fired by their team.
We want to give these people a path to citizenship.
The way they're going to make it sound in competitive districts across the country, you will believe that they are rational.
Some other breaking NFL news this morning: the Buffalo Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott after the team's loss to the Denver Broncos in the divisional round.
He's good at convincing people that he's normal. He's real good at it.
McDermott had never been to a Super Bowl with the team, and thinking that this was his year, the team decides to move on. He is now the 10th head coach fired in the NFL this season.
I do wonder what a presidential administration with Newsom would look like.
A disaster.
I wonder if he'd be California or if he would be like middle America. I don't know.
I think he would be California because that's who he is.
I mean, at one point when that dude ran for mayor, he convinced the GOP not to field a candidate, and he was the conservative candidate in the race. It was like, God, really? Say that out loud.
Fool me once.
Yeah, well, clearly.
And it's
California. He didn't need him the rest of the way.
Right.
He needed him for a mayor's race.
And it's California, and you have the track record now. I think it's probably different than mayor to now governor. And the other breakdown, Democrats, as far as supporting, approve or disapprove of the Trump administration's program to find and deport illegal immigrants who are in the United States. According to Rasmussen, Democrats are at 42%, which is a bigger number than I expected.
Sure.
Independents, 64%, and the GOP is at 80%. And I saw
4 out of 5 Republicans are like, get them out.
Yeah, it's what you have to do.
There are anybody who's raised kids knows that sometimes you only have options that sound unsavory.
Yeah, right. They're tough.
That is what it is.
Every option is a tough option,
and there will be some consequences to making that decision.
Yeah,
I still think it's the right thing to do.
No, me too. I couldn't agree with you more. It is the right thing to do.
And then set up the policies and procedures to get people in.
I think we should slow that down. You're talking about getting people in,
like work visas, what industries need people.
Let's slow
some other NFL breaking news today.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know. You have to know what you actually have
and what you need.
No,
I'm with you, but I think we should slow walk all of that to make sure that we're doing it the way it needs to be done.
It'll never happen.
No, probably not. But I'm telling you what I think should happen.
Just like we should just clip $2 trillion off the federal deficit
lop it off
right now. Just lop it off of everything.
Yeah.
And then you guys figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I wish I would have asked Greg Dolezal, who joined us in the 7 o'clock hour, who's running for lieutenant governor, about his comment putting government on a diet, because that's exactly what I want to see. I think that's what fiscal conservatives want to see. I think that's just what Republican voters want to see.
You know, states in the meritocracy of America, my favorite, I think the biggest disconnect is that, look, if Trump is unpopular on the whole, it will affect your Georgia Republican state house, state senate, statewide constitutional officers. Many of them are not like him at all. Like Greg, I'm sure, is vying for President Trump's support because it matters so much in a Republican primary, but they're not necessarily the same dude, right?
I get it.
And I think the states are so reflective. If you look at the ones that are really knocking it out of the park, and Georgia has things that they could improve, but if they didn't improve at all, they would still be probably in the top 5. That's just the reality. If they didn't, he pointed out that there were tax cuts or there were tax giveaways to different variety of special interest groups in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Think about if you did that, man. You start competing in like the top 3, and then you're splitting hairs. I think Georgia's I think getting rid of the state income tax is the rightest thing they could do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Well, because it makes you competitive with Florida and Tennessee, to your north and your south, or even more competitive.
And
Texas, for sure. And there's plenty of people moving there.
And if you get the table scraps out of Texas, those are table scraps you want.
Yeah,
it's not like New York or California.
Yeah, those are good ones. You're exactly right. Do you realize that Bernie Sanders, the socialist, can we do a little flashback here? Bryce, I know I'm calling an audible on you, and we just ran the numbers.
We said all there is to say, baby, flashback. Go ahead and give it to me.
Might as well do it too.
Flashback.
When Bernie Sanders sounded like a MAGA Republican back in 2015, I want you to listen to what Bernie says about illegal immigration.
I mean, that's a right-wing proposal which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States, or UK, or Denmark, or any other country, you have an obligation, in my view, to do everything we can to help poor people. What right-wing people in this country would love is an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people who work for $2 or $3 an hour. That would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African-American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids?
Odd that a socialist like Bernie Sanders was saying that.
He sounds like he knows how to make money.
No kidding. He does. He does. Sounds like he's running some sort of construction workshop or something. But isn't it crazy that you don't have to go very far back? I mean, just barely over 10 years, where Bernie Sanders was saying opening the borders, he called it a right-wing.
It's a right-wing propaganda campaign for cheap labor.
That's exactly right. And now because his party has gone so hard to the left and left the working folks behind, left those people that he talked about, those high school graduates, in a pinch where finding a job is a little more difficult than it used to be. Now, he's left them all behind, and he was like, bring them on in. We need as many people as we can get here, and let's naturalize them as soon as we can. Give them Social Security cards.
$20 an hour.
Or 11, whatever we can get, however we can keep them here, because that is our new voting base.
It is the only thing that really troubles me about guys who have done it for a long time is that you got to wear a lot of different uniforms. You know, it's like you talk about term limits. There's a reason. And then there's a byproduct to the people who do that. It's like, look, I just want to do the job for a little while, and I don't want to change and become all the different versions of Bernie Sanders in order to stay elected. It's awful.
It's so off-putting.
But we do it too.
Dude, you beat me to it. I was trying to get don't let the Republicans off the hook, because they do the exact same thing. Those establishment Republicans that love the status quo, they do it too.
I love the 2015 Bernie Sanders message of the Republicans are for open borders because they want to run concentration camps and sweat labor.
It's freaking crazy. I'm just telling you, you cannot listen to people like Bernie Sanders. They will tell you one thing today and something else tomorrow, and their message yesterday was completely different too. The only time when they speak that I believe them is when they say, yes, we're going to roll back all the Doge cuts. Yes, USAID's coming back. Yes, we're going to do our best to reopen the border. Anything else we can do to cause the downfall of the American empire, as they call it, as they see it, they're going to do.
I'm waiting to see. My big thing, is they want to reestablish all the cuts that have been made, and they'll probably eventually decide they didn't hate the tariffs that bad that they like the money.
They used to like it. Democrats used to love tariffs.
Sure. If you actually go back and look, I mean, that's about as Southern Democrat a thing as you could have implemented. We would like to protect American labor and encourage people to do business here. Well, all right, that doesn't sound awful.
That sounds real good to me. Sounds real good.
Whether or not it's realistic in 2026 is a different deal.
Well, it seems like it is.
Well, I'm saying, I haven't seen manufacturing just come back, and it's always going to take a while.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't...
those buildings don't go up in a day.
No, but I don't care what the tariffs are. It's still probably cheaper to paint my shoes in China. You know what I mean?
Well, slave labor, yeah. I guess so.
That's what it is.
I know it is. That's what the Uyghur people are doing.
But there's a lot of... I'm pulling for the Trump administration to repatriate that. I mean, do you look at the South Korean automobile manufacturers? They make it here for a reason.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay. They make your Mercedes-Benz SUVs in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, because they don't want to pay tariffs on the vehicle prices.
BMW over in South Carolina.
Totally.
100%.
These people, the Volvo in Chattanooga, these people are not idiots.
No, of course not. But somebody has to set the precedent. Somebody has to make that happen, and that's what Donald Trump is doing. He's seen it work with automotive, so why wouldn't it work for everything else?
It's a $1 million question. So it's the question that people will do it, but I'm pulling for the administration. I hope that it works.
Me too. So far, it seems to trend right. If you look at economic numbers, we're trending in the right direction.
I need people to feel that way, though.
No, well, right. You can only
before November.
Yes, before November. And I think we're going to, dude. I really do. I think these next two, I think first quarter will be good, and I think second quarter, that's where Scott Bessent says second quarter is supposed to be.
If he can find a way to pay off voters, like, Brian Kemp always issues this rebate checks and taxes right before he gets reelected.
Yes.
We need one of those moves.
He's already said he's going to do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he is. I hope it has a lot of zeros behind it.
I think it probably will. Dude, Trump and Kemp don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. They do on that.
They'll pay people off.
That's right. And you know what? I'm not in favor of it typically, but if it saves the republic, I'm in. All right, let's end on something that'll put a smile on your face, because who doesn't love talking about college football? But there's the economics of college football too, right? And all the things that go along with it. The SEC and the Big Ten. What does it mean? The way we're trending. Are you happy with the college football playoff? Some people would say yes. Most would say no. Next on Extra 106.3. The 8 o'clock hour. No, 9 o'clock. No, we don't have a sponsor here. We're good. We're all set. This is
Ben Burnett.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
This is the Morning
Follow
Extra.
him on Instagram.
That's right. Here we go.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for January 19th. The Atlanta Falcons have found their guy as the team announced they have hired former Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski to a 5-year deal. This comes after the Dirty Birds hired Matt Ryan as the president of football operations, and the team now shifts their focus to fill their vacancy at the general manager position. Also in the NFL, another round of playoffs concluded over the weekend. The Denver Broncos defeated the Buffalo Bills in an overtime thriller 33-30 on Saturday. They lost starting quarterback Bo Nix for the rest of the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks easily handled the San Francisco 49ers 41-6 to move Seattle one step closer to a Super Bowl return. And yesterday, the Patriots took care of business over the Houston Texans 28-16. And the Los Angeles Rams took down the Chicago Bears in overtime last night 20-17. Some other NFL breaking news today. The Buffalo Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott after the team's loss to the Denver Broncos in the divisional round. McDermott had never been to a Super Bowl with the team, and thinking that this was his year, the team decides to move on. He is now the 10th head coach fired in the NFL this season. In the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks fell to the Boston Celtics over the weekend 132-106. We'll be back in action today against the Milwaukee Bucks. Your sports headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
So if you've been waiting the right time to upgrade your home's comfort, now is that time. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team proud to present the 29th annual Winter White Sale. Lowest pricing of the year to begin the year. For a limited time, everything is on sale. Heating, cooling, complete home performance solutions with rebates and discounts up to $2,300. If you have hot spots, cold spots in your house, put an end to that. High energy bills, let's help that problem. Unhealthy indoor air affecting your family's asthma or causing just all kinds of allergy issues. Central has the solution, and as a trusted partner with Carrier, they install industry-leading Carrier systems backed by strong warranty and peace of mind that comes with proven performance and efficiency. Call them at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com because they have 79 years of experience behind them. Central Heating and Air Conditioning knows how to make your family comfortable. The 29th annual Winter White Sale going on right now. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering Carrier comfort for the world we share.
Matt, where does confidence actually come from?
Well, Brooke, most people think it's about faking it or achieving more. But real confidence starts with something simpler, self-awareness.
So how do you know if you're self-aware? And more importantly, how do you increase it?
That's where our image process comes in at howpeopleseeyou.com.
Is that the same process made famous by casting director Sam Christensen from MASH?
Yeah, and today it's helping corporate professionals show up with clarity and authenticity because confidence starts when who you are matches how you're seen. Learn more at howpeopleseeyou.com and sign up for a free preview event. That's howpeopleseeyou.com.
You're setting a lot of goals for 2026, big plans, new adventures, and Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicles to get you there. The 2026 Subaru Forester is the same reliable SUV that's earned the trust of drivers for decades, but with more adventurous style and more advanced safety technology. And you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you up to 34 miles per gallon and the power of a 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine, adding plenty of go to your adventures. The 2026 Subaru Outback shares your adventurous spirit. With up to 32 miles per gallon and 9.5 inches of ground clearance, you can explore your world with confidence. And the 2026 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. A turbocharged 260 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine makes driving a thrill. Love is out there. Find it at Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or shop online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Georgia Tech football season tickets are now on sale. Secure your seat in Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field to watch head coach Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets take the field in key matchups versus Colorado, Tennessee, and ACC foes. Has a man wide open over the middle, catches the 15, and cruising in for the touchdown. 52 yards, and they made it look easy. Visit RamblinRack.com/tickets to get your tickets today. Sting 'em.
John Michaels here. You know I love passion, toughness, and honoring the people who give everything. That's why 13 Heroes Premium Spirits hits home. It was created for the 13 American heroes we lost in Afghanistan. You can support their legacy. Order direct from 13heroes.com, where a per bottle donation is going to go straight to the heroes at the Warrior Alliance. And it's guaranteed to exceed expectation as it's clean and award-winning. Make a difference this season. Order today at 13heroes.com. 13 Heroes, honor, strength, and incredible bourbon.
Mike Rowe here with a few thoughts on my favorite sweatshirt. A classic zip-up hoodie that used to be navy blue but has since faded to what the fashionistas call a distressed indigo. It's 13 years old, soft as a flannel bathrobe, and after a few hundred dirty jobs, demonstrably and undeniably indestructible. This is the kind of sweatshirt girlfriends like to permanently borrow. But I've held on to this one because I got it from American Giant. American Giant makes all their stuff right here in the USA so they can control every link in their own supply chain. That matters because when you buy American Giant, you not only get great quality, you create jobs for people in factory towns all over the country. No pressure, but if you give a damn about the business of making things in America, you got to support the companies who are doing it right. Go to american-giant.com/Mike to get 20% off your first order. That's american-giant.com/Mike.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
It says the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Thank you so much for being here, spending time with us this morning. And here in just a little bit, about 12 minutes, we'll turn you over to the Glenn Beck program after that, Clay and Buck, the biggest show in all of conservative media. And the local afternoon show with the Kemper, Pete, and Flounder, biggest show in Atlanta, Georgia, without a doubt.
Just ask them.
Dude, just look at their ratings, look at the listenership. People love the Kemmer, and I understand why.
They do.
Yeah, he does great. And so I'm not kidding. It's one of the, if not the biggest conservative show in Atlanta, Georgia. He does great work. He hollers a lot. He calls cadence a lot.
He does.
Yeah, because he's a Marine, man. That's what Marines do.
I lived in the house of one for a long time, and I'm not sure. I need to turn my dad on to him.
Dude, they would love each other.
Like burn it to the ground. I don't care.
Your dad's like me then.
Yeah, he's mild. He's got some grandchildren now, so he's not as big a hard ass as he was in my youth.
That's what'll. I hear that happens.
Which is, but I'll tell you what, I was never late for anything.
No,
ever.
If you're 15 minutes early,
you're on time.
You're 5 minutes late.
Yeah,
or you're on time.
If you're early, you're on time, Benjamin.
Right.
There's a story.
And if you're,
yes, sir.
If you're early 5 minutes,
and I'm still never late for anything.
There's a story about Vince Dooley talking about, or Buck Bellew was telling a story on a Saturday morning show I was on about,
over on 680 The Fan.
Yeah, over on 680, and he was saying that Vince Dooley on their first practice of the of Buck's career, or their first team meeting rather, that he locked the doors 15 minutes, and if you weren't in there, dude, you weren't going to the meeting, and if you were a freshman, you had to know. Had to get in the know.
15 minutes. That's what Marines expect. 15 minutes early to be on time.
I am never late. If my dad taught me, I'm not late for anything.
Yeah.
Ever.
And
I walk in here as a guest at 5:30.
I know.
I bet everyone isn't the same way.
No, I guarantee you that's the case. But I'm glad Bryce, is who you're hearing from there a minute ago. Bryce, of course, is taking over the role that Jerry has abandoned. He left us.
He still does my show on the weekends.
Yes, he does. That's right.
Yeah.
He broke our hearts.
He abandoned you.
Yes, he did. He was like, buddy, I got to go. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. He's off to bigger and better things, and I love Jerry. He's a great dude, and we've known each other for a long time. But grateful to have Bryce, who has jumped in and not missed a beat. Or
the voice of the Kennesaw State Owls.
That's right, dude.
That's a lot of pressure right there.
Dude, you got the Hootie Hoo hat on.
Oh, I got it on. I rocked the gear.
Who are we playing in basketball next?
Oh, you're testing me here. I know we just beat WKU.
Okay. Oh, that's a good win.
Western Kentucky?
Very big win.
Well, historically, I don't know if they're any good now.
Well, with everything that was going on with the program, too, that recently broke last week, it was a much-needed pick-me-up.
We'll leave that alone, but you should Google Kennesaw State basketball if you're interested.
Or
don't.
21st on Wednesday at Sam Houston.
Ooh, going to Texas.
They are in the middle of a 3-game road trip. I do know that.
Do you travel?
I do not.
No.
But I will be on the call for the women's game on Thursday. I'll be doing play-by-play.
Yeah, so we got...
That's a hard one to call. That moves fast.
Yeah, it looks like Kennesaw State at Sam Houston on Wednesday, at La Tech on Saturday.
That travel schedule is awful.
Oh, it's brutal. I think
and they ain't going fancy.
The women's team just got back from a road trip. It was 2,500 air miles. They had to go to Miami and then to Springfield, Missouri to face off against Missouri State.
Shoot, boy, that's a long way there. Goodness.
Are they flying like Delta or American?
Commercial.
So they're not even going nice.
Chartering's expensive, man. That is an expensive thing. I got to go with football this season, and I did get to live that luxury. And I'll tell you what, not going through TSA and stuff.
That's nice.
Oh man,
dude, that's
it's
nice.
special.
It is nice.
Yeah, for sure, Ben, because you've experienced it, I'm sure.
Oh, of course. I'm that Republican.
Yeah,
I've got binders full of women.
I've not. Well, let's talk. Since we're talking about college football playoff tonight, who you got?
Indiana.
Indiana, me too. I don't really have a rooting interest necessarily.
I'm cheering for Carson Beck so that the Georgia fans can chew on that a little bit.
Fernando Mendoza over Carson Beck all day.
No. I love it. I just want to see the Georgia fans be like, well, we thought he made a bad decision, and well, he didn't.
Yeah, no, I think you could argue that to this moment right now, even if they don't win the college national championship.
He's I'm glad to see him go away from college football after this, though.
You know, he graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that earlier.
All the COVID babies.
Yeah, he was like, I hadn't been to class in 2 years. My sweet wife was like, well, how does he do that? Isn't that against the NCAA?
Bless your heart.
I was like, sweetheart, let's not pretend that the NCAA has any.
He's getting an online certification to supplement his master's in home economics.
And somebody else is checking into class just saying he's there, if that even exists.
What a squandered opportunity, because Miami's it's a really good school.
Well, he thinks he can get drafted, or he probably will get drafted.
He will get drafted.
Yeah, as I say, not thinks he will.
I hate to see people. This is the only thing I really hate about the current state is that there are a lot of really, really good schools like Miami where Carson Beck is dumb enough to give that answer or be like, I'm not going to class. I'm here to play ball.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody in the world's heard of this school.
You just diminished their value.
Yeah.
By saying something stupid, just because you thought you'd sound cool by saying it.
I mean, it's easy when you get $4.2 million.
Yeah,
but I don't squander any opportunities, man.
I love the fact that you hate Georgia enough that you hope he wins just to give it to Georgia.
Yeah.
That's the Alabama fan coming out.
That's the pettiness.
I know.
Ben.
I'm petty. If there's anything I know about Ben Burnett, it is he is petty.
I take notes.
He remembers. There's never a thing that he does not remember.
Who do you cheering for Mendoza?
I like the Indiana story, but I don't care really, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't. It's 6-1, half dozen other.
It got to be a lot less cool when we found out Mark Cuban financed the operation.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, now I know.
Yeah, of course. Now you got all the money to pay. Yeah.
Who's Georgia's billionaire?
I don't know.
Well, they're going to have to find the answer to that question.
Yeah.
And so will Alabama.
I think they probably have narrowed a few people down. Alabama's probably narrowed a few people down.
Yeah. I mean, Auburn, if they could convince Tim Cook, the Apple CEO.
Oh, and that dude from Yellowwood, too.
Yeah. But I'd take Apple money over Yellowwood.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no, me too. But I'm saying if you can get both, why wouldn't you? But I guess Big Ten and SEC don't like the idea of expanding to 24. Everybody else does. I'm against it, too, by the way.
I think that anybody who wants to virtue signal that these are now student athletes and that would be too much, I'd be like, come on, Greg Sankey.
Yeah.
Like, you guys bastardized this a long time ago.
Yeah. Carson Beck has proven to you, just in his words alone.
I don't like any of it, though, really.
You couldn't get it right with 4.
Yeah.
Now let's go to
20-something.
Yeah, let's do 12. And
everyone gets a chance.
Let's throw Samford back in.
Dude, it's just, it's the worst. I think the BCS, we should just go back to the BCS and be done with it.
Can go back to just finding out the morning after of the final game of who the committee picks as the winner.
Yeah, absolutely right. All right, that'll do it for us for Ben Burnett.
Thank you, Tuglet.
Yeah, dude, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. It's always fun spending time with you. And Bryce, doing a great job, man. Appreciate you. Beck is up next. My name is Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Did you miss Neil Bortz?
I am shocked.
Don't worry. He's live anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Oh, that radio show.
Did traffic cause you to miss some of the Kimmer Show? Get it on the app.
It's all the kids talked about on Monday at school.
With anytime show replays from the Kimmer, Bortz, the Morning Extra, Clay and Buck, and so much more. Plus local headlines and breaking news. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement,